Get started in just a moment. Folks, you know what? I think we need a little music real quick. Folks, if you are voting for Donald Trump, join the guest request. Let's have a chat. If you're voting for Kamala Harris, hit that like button, hit the share button. Help us get to 20,000 likes. We are going to get started in just a moment. Woo! Folks, I cannot believe it is election day. We are finally here. We are ready. We are going to make Kamala Harris our next president. We're going to have our Madam President. It's just so exciting. It is so exciting. We are on the precipice of history. It's just so cool. And then we get to send Donald Trump to prison. Woo! It's a twofer. We get to send Donald Trump off to prison, and we get to get our first Madam President. How wild is that? Pretty exciting stuff, huh? Folks, again, if you're voting for Donald Trump, join the guest request. Let's have a conversation so that I can make fun of you. I mean, so that I can talk to you. If you're voting for Kamala Harris, hit that like button, hit the share button. Help us get to 20,000 likes. I'm going to turn off this air conditioner real quick. Hold your horses! There we go. Let's jump in with our first guest. Charlie, hello, how you doing?
How are you, sir?
Doing good. Are you voting for Trump?
I'm not, but I want to say keep up the good work out in Pennsylvania. We need that. You know what I'm saying? Keep working, brother. I don't want to take up much of your time, but keep up the good work and keep cooking them up and frying them, grilling them, whatever you're doing. Barbecue chicken all day, baby.
We're making Thanksgiving dinner early here. Thank you so much for coming up, Charlie. I appreciate the love. Thank you. thank you. Folks, if you are voting for Donald Trump, join the guest request. Let's have a conversation. If you're voting for Kamala Harris, hit that like button, hit the share button. Help us get to 30,000 likes.
Hello?
Hey, you voting for Trump?
No, look, I was on here earlier, right? So I went and did my research, you know, after I was listening to y'all talk. Now, I think you might be right, though. You might be right.
I appreciate it.
You know why, Jenny? Because, look, I was on here earlier, and I was voting for Trump. But I really sat back and thought about it. Like, you know, Trump, he racist. I mean, he all for himself. Like, he not helping the poor at all. So with that being said, I think we'll vote for Kamala.
Hey, man. Thank you so much for coming up. I appreciate you taking the time, doing the research. I appreciate you looking into it. If we could please get some W's in the chat right here, that's great to hear. Thank you again for doing the research. I appreciate it. That's awesome. And you deserve a round of applause for that one. Seriously, I mean that genuinely. That's awesome. Thank you for doing the research. Hello, guest. You voting for Donald Trump?
Well, no, I didn't. I'm just wondering what in the world's going to happen if Trump goes in.
Yeah, he won't be.
I don't know, brother.
Nah, he won't be.
I don't know.
Yeah, I do.
No, you don't know.
No, I do.
Mean, just like I don't know, you don't know either.
No, I'm a numbers guy. This is what I do. He's not going to be your president.
I'm telling you, I'm looking at some things.
I'm telling you, you may be looking at some things, but I know the numbers in and out, and I know the analysts. He's not going to win. This isn't to be clear. This isn't. Yeah, cry more. This isn't a trust me thing. This is a statistically, numerically, categorically. No, he's not going to win. Cry more.
You're gonna lose.
Cry more. I like how he keeps unmuting to keep talking, and I just won't let him get him out. It's kind of funny. Okay, let's move on. Anyway, so that's your average MAGA Republican. Deeply emotional, deeply sad. Let's get up our next guest. Oh my goodness gracious. Oh my goodness gracious. I like when they're like, you're gonna lose. Actually, factually, categorically, numerically, no. We're not gonna lose. Kamala Harris will be your president. You ought to get used to the next 8 years of saying Madam President.
Hey, my brother,
what's going on? Trump?
What's going on, my brother? I just want to say thank you very much. I appreciate you. A very fucking smart guy, man. Real talk. Just keep up the good fucking work.
Thank you.
I just voted. You know for who? For Blue. For
Blue. Hey, thank you so much,
for my
Felix.
granddaughter. And fuck all Trump supporters could go suck a giraffe.
Felix, thank you so much. I'm gonna cut you off there. I appreciate it though. Thank you so much for voting. Let's get up our next guest. If you are voting for Donald Trump, join the guest request. I'm just looking to talk to opposition at this very moment. Okay, folks? Hi, are you voting for Trump?
I'm actually voting for Kamala, but
I appreciate it, and W's in the chat for it. I am just looking to talk to opposition for a little bit, okay? I appreciate it, though. I appreciate it. I love you, folks. Hello, guest. Are you voting for Donald Trump?
No, but I did want to.
I appreciate it. Folks, we are going to be talking to Kamala supporters too, but right now I'm just looking for opposition. Again, if you are voting for Trump today, or if you have already voted for Trump, jump on in. Let's have a chat.
can you hear me?
Depends. Are you voting for Trump?
No, Queen. I'm voting for Kamala.
Guys, W's in the chat. I appreciate it. Seriously, if you are voting for Kamala, take the request out of the chat. Take your request out of the chat box right now. If you're voting for Trump, join the guest request. I want to have a discussion with you. I appreciate it, though. Hi, you voting for Trump?
I am, but
That's disgusting.
thank you. I just came off to tell you that I already voted for him, but I honestly do fucking love you and I love what you do. I don't want to debate you because you're so spicy. I'm literally having anxiety
Because I'm
to talk to you.
spicy.
But I do want to let you know that I love you. I watch you all day, every day, and you're great at what you do. That's all I want to
All right, listen, here's the thing. I appreciate that. Should Donald Trump become your president, I hope you know that I'll be laughing at you as he throws your red cloak on and gives you a white hoodie you handmade. Listen, the fact of the matter is you just voted away your own rights. And if Donald Trump becomes your president, I'm not going to protect you from him, right? We're not going to. We warned you. You wanted to vote for Trump. If you're a handmaid, you're a handmaid. Sorry to break it to you. The rest of us will be heading to Canada. Let's get up the next guest. Fortunately, you won't have to worry about that because there are enough Kamala supporters to outnumber the conspiracy theorists. But that being said, let's get up our next guest. Hello, guest. You voting for Trump? I said, hello, guest. Are you voting for Trump? Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I said, yeah, you don't have to scream, buddy. You don't have to
Okay,
scream.
well,
Calm
it's
down.
not my fault. Turn up your hearing aid. Gosh. Maybe respond when people say it the first time. I don't need to repeat myself. Anyway, so why do you hate America? Hey, we don't gotta harp on your hearing aid. Why do you hate America?
I don't.
Well, you're voting for a criminal, sexual abuser, and civil fraudster, so it sounds like somebody hurt you. Nobody took you to prom?
Well, every single president.
Did nobody take you to prom?
Every president's a criminal.
Okay, nobody took you to
Every
prom?
president's a criminal.
Nobody took you to prom?
I don't understand why you're doing, like, personal insults here.
It's not a personal insult, it's just an observation. If it was a personal insult, I would insult your... pretty much anything in your profile photo right now, but I chose not to do that. I chose to make an observation. You are clearly out to get women for something that apparently traumatized you. I assume that no woman wanted to go to prom with you, thus you're trying to strip away the rights of women by voting for Donald Trump. Is that what it is? That's not an insult, it's just an observation. So anyway, why do you want to vote for a sexual fraudster? Like you have a fraudster, sexual abuser, rapist, felon.
Well,
I mean, he's more of a mafia
criminal.
boss than even Al Capone. So can you tell me again why you want to vote for the criminal?
Well, first off, every president is a war criminal.
That's not
so
true.
that automatically-
Not true at
Yes, it is.
all. No. So again, why do you want to vote for the criminal? Sexual abuser, civil fraudster, felon? Do you need to take your medication or can you hear me?
Bro, I can hear you. I can
Okay,
hear
it's a
you.
little early to
Go
be
on.
sundowning. It's only 2 o'clock.
Oh, I can hear you. I can hear you just fine.
Okay. So is it like, are you sundowning? What's going on?
No, I'm fine. I'm fine.
Okay, so then do you want to respond to the question?
Oh, yeah. I'm off. Well,
Wow, and there's the phone breaking up. Are you talking into a coconut from the year 1999? Put down the Nokia, pick up an iPhone or Samsung, and try to converse here. Like, we can't have a one-way conversation between me and somebody who... I mean, come on, it's giving Mike Lindell. Like, look at that. Anyway, can you hurry up and answer the question? You can't even get your insults out because your phone's breaking up. Are you good? It's giving Golden Girls. Are you Betty White?
Yeah.
Betty White, is that you? I said Betty White, and all the MAGA Republicans heard white, and we're like, yeah! Whoa! White! Like, God. Oh, my God.
Yeah, I don't know what this guy... I don't know. He's geeking
anyway,
out.
Can you just hurry up and answer the question? Can you just hurry up and answer the question? Okay, we're just going to move on. On the count of 3, everybody. Hocus Pocus. 3, 2, 1. Hocus Pocus. Poof! And he's gone. Let's get up our next victim. Guest! Guest! Let's get up our next guest. Oops. Hi, are you voting for the criminal, sexual abuser, and civil fraudster?
No, I already voted for Kamala, man.
Hey, W's in the chat. Thank you so much for coming up. I am just looking to talk to opposition for a little bit. Again, if you're voting for Donald Trump, join the guest request. Josh, you voting for Trump?
No, I'm definitely for the American flag president.
Gotcha. Thanks for coming up. I appreciate it. W's Kamala in the chat. Let's get up our next guest. Slowly but surely gonna get up a guest. All the Trumpers are running scared. I don't get it. Why are they all running away? Again, if you're voting for Trump, join the guest request. Come on up. Come on, don't be shy. I can't wait until one of them comes up and starts insulting right off the bat, as though that helps their cause. Hi, are you voting for Trump?
Already did.
Okay, you want a fucking cookie or something? Did you come here for a sticker? I was asking you, are you voting for Trump? You could just say, yeah. And now I'm going to ask you, why'd you vote for a sexual abuser, civil fraudster, and felon? Try to answer that. But before you do, chat, do we think he's going to A, pivot, B, deflect, or C, start crying and screaming? Let's do a poll. A, deflect, B, pivot, or C, start running and screaming? All of the above. You picked D. So... why are you voting for a sexual abuser, a felon, a rapist, a civil fraudster? Go ahead.
Because I think he is a leader and not somebody who doesn't have a plan and just relies on alphabet soup when she talks.
He doesn't have a plan. Can you tell me what his plan is to, for example... rebuild our infrastructure? Donald Trump said that he was going to rebuild our infrastructure during his first term, 4 years, and he didn't offer a plan. Kamala Harris and Joe Biden got it done in their first term. So Donald Trump is still running on an infrastructure plan, even though he doesn't have one. What's his plan?
Infrastructure did Kamala and Biden
the bipartisan infrastructure deal? Are you kidding? It allocated billions of dollars. No, no, that's important too. But I'm talking about the billions of dollars towards the Department of Transportation, rebuilds roads, bridges, airlines, industries, created tens of thousands of good-paying union jobs in construction, electrical, plumbing. Yeah, that package, maybe you should look it up if you don't know. Can you tell me what Donald Trump's plan is?
Donald Trump's plan?
For infrastructure, yeah.
Yep, for infrastructure?
Yes! Oh my God, did I stutter? What is going on? Are you good?
I don't know. Are you good?
Can you respond?
You sound pretty
Respond!
So the infrastructure plan, I'm not up to speed with his infrastructure plan. I'm not.
Of course you're not. What a shock. You know nothing? Oh gosh, I could have. Oh my gosh, I can't believe. Oh man, you're saying you don't know the package? You don't know the deal? Oh gosh, I'm shocked. That's because he doesn't have one. Can you tell me? Can you tell me what is his replacement to the ACA? He said he was going to replace the ACA. It's been a decade. He still doesn't have a plan. He has a concept of a plan. Actually, hold on. I'm Italian. My hands are too big for his concept of a plan. Can you tell me what his concept of a plan is to replace the ACA? Go ahead.
He wants to bring it back to the states and to the
what does that even mean? What is his plan? So, you can't just say he's going to strip away healthcare and that's his plan.
You asked me some questions and I'm trying to answer.
You said you were voting because he's the man with the plan, and yet you can't name a single plan. That's weird.
I said I'm voting for him because I think he's a leader.
No, shut your mouth. Shut up. Hey, shut up. You said yourself. I'm not tolerant. Who's intolerant? That's my point. I'm not tolerant. I'm not tolerant. Are you new? So let me better understand this. You're saying that you're voting for Donald Trump based off of him being a leader. He's not a leader, period. Madison, thank you for the $5. Guess Madison wants me to tell you that she hates you, so thank you for being so easily hateable. It's because you had just got $5. Oh, he ran away. Anyway, then you said that he's the man with the plan. I ask you for his plans and you can't respond. And then you say, Johnny, you're supposed to be the tolerant left. Who told you I'm tolerant? Are you new here? I ain't tolerant. I ain't tolerant at all. What are you talking about? Johnny, tolerant? Y'all do? Chat. You know, Y'all want to break it to the MAGA Republicans? Apparently they think I'm tolerant. Y'all want to break it down to them? Dang, that's some new shit right there. Telling people I'm tolerant. Yeah, I ain't tolerant. Fun fact, I'm not tolerant when you MAGA Republicans tell LGBTQ plus Americans that they cannot love. I am not tolerant to you MAGA Republicans when you tell women that they cannot choose. And I am not tolerant to MAGA Republicans when you tell black Americans that they can vote, but their vote might not count as much as that of a white American. I am not tolerant to you MAGA Republicans when you spit on the legacies of soldiers who have fought for our country for centuries at Arlington National Cemetery, a hollow ground, by exploiting their graves for your own personal interest. No, I'm not tolerant. I'm not tolerant. Man, who? Huh? Dang. Dang. MAGA, if you're here, hey MAGA Republicans, if you are here right now in the chat, do me a favor. Comment MAGA, because I'm going to bring you up here and you're going to face me. You're going to say what you're saying in my comment section to my face. Yeah? Stop being little snowflake keyboard warriors. Get your butt into my guest request or my mods are going to kick you out of the channel going forwards. You got it? Get your butt into my guest request and say it to my face. Go ahead. Oh, wait. Lily, you voting for Trump? Lily! 3, 2, 1, next. Why are you voting for a criminal? Answer!
Well, it's too late.
Answer! Why are you voting for a criminal? Answer! Criminal, why? Hey! I just asked you a question. Why are you voting for the criminal? Why are you voting for the criminal? Answer, come on. Answer! Answer!
The crime.
Answer! Criminal, why?
Crime.
Criminal, why?
Listen,
criminal, why? Hurry up!
You are a beautiful man.
Why are you voting for the criminal? Why are you voting for the criminal? Why are you voting for the criminal?
Because your eyes are so pretty. Because of your eyes.
Why are you MAGA Republicans trying to flirt with me? Venmo, PayPal in the bio. If you want to ask me out on a date, you ought to take me out to Panera Bread first. Dang. You could drop me some dollars in my Venmo and PayPal. Feel free to take me out on a date. Yo, I get that. I get you MAGA Republicans are crushing on me, but like, come on now. It's always deflection. The closet really is glass. They come up here. All I got to do is yell one little thing, and they just bend right over. It's insane. It's insane. That was like, was that not weird, chat? Was that not crazy? Was that not crazy? Like the closet's glass. They like it. They like when I yell at them. I yell at them and they're like, yes! It's a little weird, but everybody's got their kinks. Hey, guest, you voting for Donald Trump?
Sure are.
Wow, that's disgusting.
No, that's my opinion. Just like,
oh, sorry, I wasn't talking. To be clear, calm down, calm down, calm down, calm down, calm down now, calm down, Auntie Mama, calm down, Auntie Mama, calm down now, calm down, Auntie Mama, Auntie Mama, you gotta calm down, Auntie Mama, you gotta calm down now. I ain't asking for your life story. I don't need to know all about how your mama and your sister and your brother's uncle are all married and intertwined in some sort of... I don't need to know about all that, Auntie Mama. What I'm trying to better understand now is why are you voting for a criminal, felon, sexual abuser? If you could unmute and tell me what you're talking about now. While you do that, I'm going to herd the cattle. Yeehaw! Sweet! Where's the cattle? Where's the cattle? We're herding the cattle. Thank you, Ash, for the galaxy. I appreciate the love. All right, guest, can you unmute whenever you're ready? Tell me why you're voting for a felon. Can you unmute? Come on, sweetheart. Let's go. You can unmute. I know you can. Come on, honey. Honey, sweet. Can we get some sweet in the chat, please? Maybe I think we got to call this guest back into our conversation because apparently me unmuting them ain't enough. They're running scared. Let's call this. Let's get this cattle back into the live stream. On the count of 3, everybody say what I say. Sweet. Come on, we got to do a cattle call now. Come on, guest, unmute. Sweet. Cattle call. Come on, guest. Guest, I'm asking you to unmute whenever you're ready. If you would just hurry up and unmute, that'd be lovely. What is going on? This guest is just trying to... This guest is scared of me, so they want me... There you go! Good girl! So why are you voting for a sexual abuser?
Why are you voting
Why
for
are you
Camellia?
voting for a
Why
sexual
are you voting
abuser?
for Camellia? Because
Excuse
I don't
me
agree
now.
with abortion for one full term. And for two, I don't vote
I'm trying to get you to listen, but you're not listening. Are you here to engage in a conversation or cry more about why your husband wants to leave you for me? Listen, again, listen, Granny, I need you to listen closely. I get you want to run away, and as you do, I'm going to pull out this cowbell and start cheering you on your way. I don't know why your husband wants to leave you for me. It's just probably because this is the way he rolls. But I'm just trying to understand why you're voting for Donald Trump. You don't got to go on and on about your husband. Listen, cry more. Let's get up our next guest. Hopefully the next one might be able to say something literate or coherent. Because gosh darn it, that one was so upset, all because her dang-gum husband wanted to take me instead of her. Very odd. In fact, the guy who came up before and was like, you're very pretty, that was her husband. That was her husband. He came up, he was like, you're beautiful. And then she joined him, was like, heck no! She was very upset. Alright, let's get up the next guest. Again, if you're voting for Donald Trump, join the guest request. Let's have a conversation.
Hey, I've been watching you. Fuck you, you son of a...
Sorry, son of a what? The mic broke out. Sorry, what'd you say? The mic broke out? Sorry, the mic broke out again. Whenever you're ready, can you just... I'm sorry. The mic broke out? I'm sorry, the mic broke out again? Sorry, I can't hear you. Can you repeat? Sorry, the mic's breaking out. Can't quite hear you. What'd you say? Whenever you're ready. Oh, I'm so sorry. The mic broke out again. What happened? Oh no, the mic broke out. Oh gosh, the mic broke out again. Oh no, what's happening? Oh no, oh, gosh darn it. Stupid what? It wouldn't come out. Stupid, sorry. It said stupid and then it didn't. Sorry, what was that you said? Oh gosh, I can't seem to hear you. It's not working. Oh no. Gosh darn it. Oh no, oh gosh, it didn't work. Sorry, what were you saying? Did you say something? Oh gosh, I'm so sorry, the mute button didn't work. Sorry, what were you saying? Oh, you keep muting yourself. Oops, poof, bye. Hello, guys. Are you voting for Trump? Okay, come on now. It's a little early to be sundowning. Let's get up our next guest. Oh my gosh. Slowly but surely gonna get a Trump supporter up here. All that I'm getting up here are MAGA Republican men calling me pretty, and then the MAGA Republican wives coming up here and telling them how much they hate me because their husbands are crushing on me. What is going on? Hi!
Hi, Johnny.
Are you voting for Trump?
Oh, no. We voted for Kamala. My husband and I voted early, and we can't wait to make history.
Hey, thank you so much for voting. I appreciate you stepping up. Thank you so much. I appreciate you coming up. Let's get up our next guest. Hi there. Are you voting for Trump?
Hi, Johnny. So sorry. No, I don't want to take up your time. I'm Kamala all the way. Kamala all the way.
I appreciate it. Thank you for coming up. I appreciate it. Folks, so if you are voting for Donald Trump, join the guest request so that I can make fun of you. I mean, talk to you. I want to have a discussion. Hi, Rod. Are you voting for Donald Trump?
Of course I'm voting for Donald Trump. What kind of question is that?
Well, let's see. It was a coherent question for an incoherent man like yourself. Assuming that that's what you are actually judging. I don't really know. Anyway, so why are you voting for a criminal? Can you unmute and tell us? Hello? You know, people would like you more if you knew how to work a cell phone. If you weren't so out of touch with technology and literacy, maybe you would have more friends. Can you unmute, Rod?
We're
there you go. Good girl. So why are you voting for the felon?
Those borders up. That's what we're going to do. We're going to keep all those illegal immigrants out.
Excuse me. First off, if you're considering Melania an illegal immigrant, I don't know why Donald Trump wants to kick illegal immigrants out unless he's marrying them. Fine and dandy. But if you're going to send everybody else on their way, you might as well send Melania too. And while you're at it, go dig up Ivana and send her out too, right? I think she's on a golf course. Anyway, so can you tell me why you're voting for the felon? Oh, he ran away! We got a runner! No! We got a runner! Yeehaw! Oh, gosh. Joey.
Oh, then let me in. Johnny,
are you voting for Trump?
Johnny, Trump 2024 all day. All day Trump 2024. And you can ask me whatever you want. You ask me why I'm voting for him, and I can give you every single.
Actually, I'd like to know if you were dropped on your head as a baby. That's my first question. Just to.
Actually, I was exploded by IED in the military. But anyways, what's
up? So after you were dropped on your head, I guess that the sense that was in you got knocked right out, so you decided to vote for Trump. So why are you voting for a criminal, felon, and sexual abuser?
I
guess that's my first question.
Decided to vote for Kamala.
You can't even pronounce her name right. Seriously?
Kamala.
So wait, I'm sorry. Pick your battle. You can't be ugly, dumb, and illiterate. You gotta like pick your battle. You know what I'm saying?
Listen, Trump 2024.
Okay, listen again. Hear me on this. You gotta pick your battle, right? Like, I don't know about you, but growing up, my mom said straight to my face, she was like, Johnny, you can be dumb, ugly, or illiterate. You can't be all three, but apparently your mom told you differently. Let's get up our next guest. Is that rude? I feel like it might have been rude. I don't know. Somebody had to say it, right? Okay, good. I didn't think it was rude. Sometimes a reality check is the best kind of check, right? Even better than money. Folks, if you are voting for Donald Trump, join the guest request and let's have a conversation about it. Don't be shy. Come on up. Hi, you voting for Trump? Fetus deletus! Poof! And they're gone. Fetus deletus is a beautiful spell, but be mindful where you use it. If you were caught using fetus deletus in the state of Alabama, there is a chance that Louisiana Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson, may come to your home and check your phone. Hi, guest. Are you voting for Donald Trump?
I actually already voted. I just wanted to say.
Did you vote for Trump?
Yes. Can you please?
Okay, so can you please do me a favor? Now, what I want to know is, as I hear a baby crying behind you, first off, if that's a daughter, why would you vote her rights away? And secondly, if you just had a baby, why are you voting against an expansion on the child tax credit? So it's a daughter. You have a daughter.
No, it's not.
Boy, you have a son?
Yes.
Okay, so let's better understand this. First off, you are voting against the expansion on the child tax credit. Why did you vote against an expansion on the child tax credit and vote for Donald Trump, whose party blocked an expansion on that tax credit that would have economically benefited you? Also, you sound young. How old are you?
26.
Okay, so you are young. So the first-time homeowners credit and additionally the $50,000 down payment for small business entrepreneurs, why are you voting against your economy, your economic financial footing? Kamala is giving young people like you and young people with children like you the chance to get a strong financial footing and step into our economy. Why are you voting against that?
Because I can. And I literally just came up because I wanted you to hocus pocus me.
So let me get this right. You really just straight up... You really just straight up came up here and said, I'm just willfully ignorant. Man, again, just like the last guy, you got to pick your battle. You got to pick your battle. So you're acting like a pick-me. So if you're going to be a pick-me, then you can't also be ignorant.
Not a pick-me.
Again, if you want to be a pick-me, it's giving pick-me. Oh, she ran away. You didn't even get hocus pocus. What happened? So again, you want it to be a pick-me, but if you want to be a pick-me and ignorant, you can't do both, cutie. You got to pick one, right? Pick your battle. Right? Pick Me really got her. You know that she's a pick me when Pick Me really got to her. You saw how triggered she got when he said you're a pick me? Apparently it ain't the first time she heard it.
I'm so glad you picked me.
Oh, just like the other girl, I'm not going to pick you. Nobody's going to pick you. Let's get up the next guest. Hello.
Oh, shit. What's up?
Fetus deletus. Poof. Okay, this was not coming up. Let's get up our next, folks. If you're voting for Donald Trump, join the guest request. Hurry up. Come on in. If you're voting for Trump, join the guest request. Hi, why do you hate America?
No, I don't. I'm Irish.
Oh, hold on 1 second. Fetus, deletus, poof. This wand is getting a workout. Let me tell you something. Oh yeah, this is Harry Potter's wand, for those of you who don't know. Daniel, hi, are you voting for Trump?
I am.
Gotcha. And why do you hate America? Why do you hate women?
I love America and love women.
Apparently you don't, because you're voting for Donald Trump, who said, for one, Puerto Rico's trash. So he's got an issue with America, obviously. And two, the guy who overturned the rights of women, that being Roe v. Wade. So why are you voting for a criminal sexual abuser and civil fraudster who hates America and women? Go ahead.
He puts Americans first.
Actually, no, he doesn't put them first unless they're an illegal immigrant so he can marry them. So again, why are you voting for the criminal sexual abuser and civil fraudster instead of Kamala Harris, who is a district attorney, prosecutor, attorney general leading the largest Department of Justice, second only to the U.S. Department of Justice, senator and vice president? Why are you voting for a rapist? Is it like a kink?
Absolutely not. And I love the women in my life. And
apparently not enough to vote for their rights and freedoms, but apparently you hate him enough to vote for the guy who said he will continue attacking IVF, let alone he's already overturned Roe v. Wade. So why are you voting for the sexual abuser? Can you hurry up?
Kamala and Biden had a chance to...
Can you just hurry up and respond? And this time, don't try talking about Kamala and Joe and the Republican Congress that blocked it. Can you please tell me why you're voting for a criminal? This time, talk about Donald Trump.
This time, he puts Americans first.
Donald Trump.
He puts Americans first.
Donald Trump. Why are you talking about felon? Hello? He doesn't put American first.
Yes.
Fine. I'll elaborate because you can't. You are voting for a sexual abuser, civil fraudster, a convicted felon on 34 felony counts solely because you believe he puts Americans first. He didn't put farmers first when he implemented a tariff 15 to 25% on agriculture that increased costs of middle-class consumers by $230 billion. He didn't put black Americans first when he undermined their voting electoral process in states like Georgia to put himself and his own candidates first. He said if you're a black American and you vote, you can have your vote counted, but it may not count as much as that of a white American. That's not putting black Americans first. He didn't put transgender Americans first when he kicked them out of the military for simply trying to serve our country, when, mind you, Donald Trump dodged the military himself, called suckers and losers of our veterans, mocked the legacy of John McCain, refused to negotiate a deal to bring home U.S. Marine Paul Whelan, and exploited the graves of soldiers at Arlington National Cemetery to the point where soldiers had to put a police report on him. Donald Trump didn't put LGBTQ plus Americans first when he attacked the right to love. Kamala Harris says love is love. Donald Trump says not in America, but that's not the American way. Donald Trump didn't put middle class Americans first when he said, hey, if you're a middle class American, I'm going to hike up your costs. I'm going to hike up your tariffs. I'm going to cut taxes for corporations, and then they're going to further price gouge on you. Companies like Kroger, companies like PepsiCo, who have admitted to price gouging, that is not putting the middle class first. So what did Donald Trump put first? Because it wasn't the middle class. It wasn't small business entrepreneurs. He steamrolled them with his tariffs. It wasn't farmers. He steamrolled them with his tariffs too. It wasn't women. He overturned their right to choose. It wasn't black Americans. He undermined their vote. It wasn't Puerto Ricans because, hey, he says that Puerto Ricans are trash. It wasn't veterans because Donald Trump mocked veterans, exploited veterans, and used them as nothing more than a voting bloc. But you know who actually supports veterans? Kamala Harris and Joe Biden. They gave you the PACT Act, the largest expansion to healthcare coverage for veterans in decades. So who puts America first? Is it the candidate, Kamala Harris, who says we will protect the right to choose, we will protect union rights, we will protect LGBTQ plus rights, we will protect transgender Americans, we will protect black Americans, we will uplift the middle class and build the economy from the inside out? Or is it Donald Trump who says we are going to put corporations first, and unless your name is Jeff Bezos or George Soros, I don't want to hear from you. Don't tell me who cares for Americans and get out of my life. Good riddance. Let's get up our next guest. I think people think that today's the day, but I ain't the one, and it's election day, so I ain't got time for this nonsense. When I ask you, and listen very closely to all the MAGA Republicans in the chat, when I ask you why you're voting for Donald Trump, you're going to say something coherent. If your answer is, make America great again, or if your answer is, we're going to vote for him because he put that first, you need to say something coherent. You understand me? Allison, are you voting for Trump?
No, I'm voting for Harris.
Thank you for doing so. I do want to... Where are these MAGA Republicans at? Let's try one more. If we can't get a coherent conversation, we'll do a live stream restart. And folks, if you like what you're hearing today, my Venmo, PayPal are in my bio. I appreciate the love. Or hit that follow button in the top left corner and join our family. All right, you in a train. I can't hear what you're saying. Spark, thank you so much for the love. Folks, we're going to do a quick live. For a Madam President. Freedom, freedom, I can't lose, because I need freedom too. You ready? Hold on. You ready? You ready? You guys ready? Ready? Freedom, freedom, I can't lose. Folks, if you are just tuning in and you're voting for Donald Trump, join the guest request. Let's have a conversation. If you're voting for Kamala Harris, hit that like button, hit the share button. Help us get to 10,000 likes. We are going to get started in just a moment, but can we just get a massive round of applause for Election Day? We are here, and we are about to have our first Madam Vice President become our Madam President. Like, do we understand how awesome that is? That is even cooler than having the first convicted felon become president. I'd rather the convicted felon go to prison. Isn't this exciting? We're going to send the convicted felon to prison, and then we're going to make Kamala Harris the first Madam Vice President into our Madam President. How amazing is that? I mean, this is so cool. I love this. I'm sure all the MAGA Republicans agree that that's very cool, right? I'm sure that they're very happy, yeah? Anyway, folks, again, if you're voting for Donald Trump, join the guest request. Let's have a conversation. If you're voting for Kamala Harris, hit that like button, hit the share button. We're going to get to 20,000 likes. Let me turn on that air conditioning. Whew. Nope, that's got to go on further. Come on, air conditioning. Let's go. All right, we're back on. We're back. We're back. We're back. All right, folks, again, if you're voting for Donald Trump, join the guest request. Let's have a conversation. If you're voting for Kamala Harris, hit that like button, hit the share button. Please do help us get to 20,000 likes. We're going to get started in just a minute with our first guest. With our first guest. I'm going to do something to trigger all the MAGA Republicans. This is called a lip balm. Oh, gosh, they're going to be so angry that I used a lip balm. They prefer their lips being nice and crusty for their sister wives. John, hi, are you voting for the criminal? Okay, John left. Well, that's okay. That's fine. I don't want to talk to John anyway. Folks, again, if you are voting for Donald Trump, join the guest request. Come on up. If you're voting for Kamala, hit that like button, hit the share button. Help us get to 30,000 likes. Dude, you got a lot of background noise. You good?
I am. I'm at the gym. I apologize.
You're good. You voting for Trump?
I'm going to disappoint you here.
Hello?
Was I talking to you yet? No. Can you wait a minute? Man, thinks the center of the universe is on him. Please. Okay, so why are you voting for a criminal?
Well, actually, no. I just wanted to talk about it because I'm still in the middle.
Dude, it is election day. Are you out of your mind?
No, I can walk over to a poll office and do it. I still have time. But
go to KamalaHarris.com or DonaldJTrump.com. Excuse me. Go to KamalaHarris.com or DonaldJTrump.com and get decided. Nobody's undecided today. You're out of your mind.
Well,
who are you voting for?
No,
who are you voting for?
I'm not
who are you voting for?
I just want to hear.
So who are you voting for?
No one yet.
So then you're undecided. You're saying.
I just want to hear different standpoints. Dude. No, I just want to hear different standpoints.
It is election day, man. It's election day. Hey, chat, this guy's a fucking liar. Don't even. Guys, statistically speaking, there is 0 chance that he's an undecided voter. Are you guys out of your mind? who's saying convert him. He's not looking to be converted. He's looking to troll. He's a Trump supporter who's looking to waste time of Kamala Harris supporters so that they can spend less time converting actual voters. Y'all got to get real. Like, come on. Don't let them fool you that easily. They're the ignorant party, not us. Don't let them fool you. He's not undecided. Hello, guest. Are you voting for Trump?
I did vote for Trump.
Okay, I can't hear you. Talking into a Nokia?
Can you hear me better?
No, it sounds like you're talking into a Nokia 1999.
Sorry, my headphones messed up. I'll try my other set.
May I recommend getting a phone that's not from the 90s?
Well, my phone's brand new. It literally said to plug your headphones.
Okay, so you might have gotten the iPhone 1 and you thought just because it's an iPhone they're all the same.
Not an iPhone. Why are you?
It sounds straight up like you're like, dude, you sound like the voice from Scream, yeah? You understand?
Hold on.
You're like, you like scary movies. It's not, it ain't good.
Can you hear me better?
No. So yeah, again, what do you have? The LG Touch?
Can you hear me better? Yes, no, maybe so.
Fine. Are you driving?
Yeah, I'm at work. So
you're driving right now?
Well, not at the moment. I'm in my car.
Okay, why are you voting for a criminal?
I didn't vote for Kamala Harris.
I just said, why are you voting for the criminal? That's Donald J. Trump.
Yes.
The sexual abuser, civil fraudster who was found guilty on 34 felony counts. Why are you voting for that?
Any of his felony accounts that he got charged with for sexual abuse?
I understand that you want to vote for a felon and become a felon yourself because it's some sort of kink you got going on, but just because you're driving, you probably shouldn't be texting or calling. Focus on the road, okay? Again, just because you want to vote for a felon and become one yourself doesn't mean the rest of us want to be held liable for it. So you have a good day. My gosh. These MAGA Republicans are like, not only am I going to vote for a felon, I'm going to become one myself. Jacqueline, thank you so much for the Galaxy. I appreciate the love. Thank you.
Hello? Fuck you, faggot. I hope you die, fucking.
When people ask me why I support abortion, yep, that's why. Hello.
Well, as you can imagine.
Hello.
Are you voting for Trump?
No, hell no. Kamala Harris all the way. First day of early voting, Houston, Texas, baby.
Hey, thank you for voting.
I just want to say that I'm so proud of you, and I'm happy that you're advocating for Kamala Harris because we're going to win tonight. Tonight is the night.
Oh, we are going to win. Listen, it feels like 2008, so I'm excited for this election to go down. I'm excited to win, and I'll see you on the finish line.
Yay.
Alrighty, folks, let's get up our next guest. Again, if you're voting for Donald Trump, come on up so that I can make fun, talk to you. So that I can talk to you, and we'll have a great conversation.
We in Kamala Harris.
I don't even know. All I know is that I ain't doing it. I know, but I know I ain't the one. So we're going to get up our next one. Next guest. Folks, if you're voting for Donald Trump, join the guest request. Let's have a conversation. Oh my gosh. Alright, these Trumpers are struggling. Let's try a few more. This one looks like he'll be literate. Hi, you voted for Trump?
No, no way.
I knew it. I knew it right off the bat. I was like, this guy looks like he's going to be literate, intelligent, and I knew it. I knew it right off the bat.
I voted for Harris and Walz, and I wish I could vote it 20 more times because I would have voted all 20 times for it.
Oh man, I hear that. Listen, MAGA Republicans are going to say we're voting 20 times anyway, so we might as well do it, right?
I have 7 brothers and sisters. I have 7 brothers and sisters, and I'm the only one that voted for Harris and Walz.
Well, hey, thank you so much for voting for Harris. I appreciate you.
Ever since she ran for president, she was my choice.
Howie, thank you so much. I appreciate you coming
And
up here.
you know, at least she doesn't say garbage. You know, a country is full of garbage and stuff like that. So.
Right. Well, thank you again, Howie. I appreciate you coming up. I appreciate you voting for Kamala Harris. Folks, if you are voting for Donald Trump, join the guest request. I'm just looking to talk to some opposition right now. Okay, folks? If we could get like 1,000 W Howies in the chat, that's awesome, Howie. Thank you for voting. Carter, hi, you voting for Trump?
Yes, I am. I actually have a few questions.
And I don't care about your goddamn questions. I'm going to start asking some questions first. First and foremost, you got to recognize you requested to join my live stream. Thus, wipe your feet off on the virtual doormat, and then you wait until you're spoken to, right? So I asked if you were voting for Donald Trump. You said yes. That wasn't my question. That was just to confirm that you were literate and reading where it says, or you know, why are you voting for Trump, right? Just to confirm that you were literate. You are, which is great. So now tell me, why are you voting for a sexual abuser, civil fraudster, and felon? Unmute and hurry up.
Okay, I do not believe any of those felons, and
You are saying that what? He didn't commit the crime, or that he was politically persecuted? What are you saying?
Politically persecuted. And
in
plus,
what logic? Do you understand that logic doesn't add up? For example, would Hunter Biden not too then be a victim of political persecution?
You're just not making any sense there.
That made sense.
Off.
In what sense?
But you're not letting anyone talk.
Excuse me. You just said that Donald Trump was the victim of political persecution. I get that you got caught up and you're trying to pivot. I just need you to tell me.
No, I'm not.
Would Hunter Biden not too? Then perfect. If you're not fragile and a little snowflake, you can respond to this. So again, if you're saying that Donald Trump is the victim of political persecution, was Hunter Biden not too the victim of political persecution in your logic? Yes or no? Can you just respond? This shouldn't take this long. Are you good? Is it a processing issue? I have resources. I can recommend you to a therapist. Oh, he ran away. We got a runner. No! Let's get some cow emojis in the chat. Moo! He literally did not respond. He goes, Donald Trump's politically persecuted, but can't tell me how or why. If you're a Trump supporter and you are in my comment section right now crying up a storm, join my guest requests. Come talk to me. Don't be shy. Comment MAGA in the chat and I'll bring you up. Guest, you voting for Trump?
Fuck you, fag!
Oh, he couldn't even get it out. That's how quick abortion should be. You just... gone. Look at that. I just had my first abortion. Easy peasy. Let's get up our next guest. That right there was an unwanted fetus. Now it's gone. Fetus deletus. Yeetus the fetus. Hi, Becca. Hello, you voting for Trump?
Yes.
How old are you?
I'm 20.
No, you're not. Hey, if you're going to come up here and say that you're voting, please wait until your voice drops. You voting for Trump?
Hell no.
Thanks for coming up. Folks, again, if you are voting for Trump, join the guest request. Let's have a conversation. Hi, why do you hate America?
I don't.
Oh, sorry, I just assumed. Are you voting for Trump?
I am. Did.
Okay, yeah, so my statement stands. Why are you, why do you hate America? Is it like a personal, like, do you have a personal grievance with America? Like, you see veterans and you're like, oh, gosh, I hate them, or law enforcement. You see see women and you're like, gosh, I hate those women. I just want to take their rights away.
Why are you making assumptions?
Well, you're a Trump supporter, aren't you? Okay, yeah, so then my statement stands. So why do you hate America?
Why are you making assumptions? I don't.
It's not really an assumption, right? It's more of an observation.
I don't. I disagree.
An
with
assumption would mean that there's no truth behind it. An observation is that it's a fact.
Have you came out of the closet yet?
Yeah, of course. I'm dating your dad. So anyway, can you tell me again, why are you voting for the party that quite literally did the textbook definition of an insurrection?
The party didn't do it. A handful of idiots did.
Actually, Donald Trump incited said insurrection. I mean, his party literally... You understand that his campaign bust people to the Capitol for it? Yeah? No.
Nancy Pelosi was in
So
charge
again,
of
you're
Capitol
voting for a
Police. She dropped
felon
the
who was
ball.
found guilty on 34 felony counts, falsifying
By a
business
weaponized
records, checks, and
DOJ.
statements. The guy who was found liable of sexual abuse, found liable of civil
I'll
fraud,
just
who
listen
was
to
the
you talk,
textbook
I guess.
definition of an insurrectionist, who
I'll just listen to
violated
you
the
talk. We'll just keep
Constitution.
listening.
He
Why
violated
do
the
you not
Second
wanna come up? You
Amendment.
won't let no one talk.
Why are you voting for the criminal?
Well, it was a
Do you
weapon.
hate America?
All right. Okay. Well, you just want to keep talking?
Which
I'll
do you
listen.
hate more, America
I
or
don't have
women?
to step up to
You know,
do this. I
the
can
difference
just-
between you and me is that you say I'm in the closet, but you hate women far more than I do. So that kind of means that that closet would be class for you, would it not?
Well, again, you're
Right?
making assumptions.
No, that's more of an observation.
No, it's an assumption.
Not really, because there's truth behind it.
You said I
Who
hate
hates
America, I
women?
hate
You.
women. Sounds
But you
like
say
you're
I'm in
the
the
one filled with
closet.
hate. You're the one
Anyway,
filled-
tell your dad I said hi. How's he doing?
You're the one filled with hate.
Okay, anyway, can you just tell me which one you hate more, women or America?
Which one do you hate more?
Let's see. If Donald Trump is in office, let's think. Let me think about that. What are you again?
What do you mean, what am I?
Like, what are
You
you?
wanna put a label on me?
Yeah, what are you?
As far as what?
Like, what gender are you? What do you mean?
Oh, I have a penis, so I'm a male.
Okay, so then yeah, I think I hate men the most. Look at that. Anyway, so why are you voting for the criminal?
Well,
Listen, if you're coming up here to troll, you're not going to be able to troll better than
No, I'm
me.
gonna
right?
tell you
I'm
lots
just
of reasons.
that good.
You gotta let me
Anyway,
talk.
can you stop eating the microphone? Back off of the mic, dude. You don't got to put it in your mouth.
So should I get my Nokia out? My
I'm
Nokia
sure you
from
got.
99?
Okay,
Would that be
calm
better?
down. Calm down. I'm sure you have a lot of experience with putting things in your mouth, but you could just take the microphone out of it.
do,
So again,
Mom,
why are you voting
please.
for the criminal?
Because his policies are way better. 4 years ago, I was a better situation.
Tell me one policy that Donald Trump passed that economically benefited the middle class. And while you do that, let's also ask the chat.
Corporate
Chat, were
tax
you better
breaks.
off 4 years ago than you are today? 4 years
Corporate
ago
tax
when you were
breaks.
in the midst of a pandemic, when, you know,
Corporate tax
people were
breaks.
losing their lives?
Corporate tax breaks.
Oh, really? So Donald
That's
Trump
a
giving a
good call.
14% corporate tax deduction that increased your debt by $8 trillion and hit up your cost by $230 billion. That
Also
was good for
created a lot
you?
of jobs.
You seem
It also
deeply
created a lot of
confused.
jobs.
And yet Kamala Harris and Joe Biden created double the amount of
What did
jobs that
Kamala
Donald
do that
Trump
you make
created.
you like her so much?
Okay, can you calm down, take the microphone out of your mouth for the final time? You don't got to gag on it. So again, and I'm trying to better understand here. You just said that the 14% corporate tax deduction helped you, but it actually statistically, factually, and categorically didn't. For example, it hiked up your cost by $230 billion alongside its tariffs. It also increased your debt by $8 trillion. So help me better understand how that would have possibly helped you. You said it created jobs, but Kamala and Joe didn't incorporate a 14% corporate tax deduction, yet they created double the amount of jobs that Donald Trump created, not including pandemic jobs. So
Just
math
because
might be
you say
hard, but
stats
it's
don't
not
make
that
them true.
hard.
You
Math
could
might be
spew-
hard, but it's not that
You
hard.
could spew false stats all day
It's
long.
not
That don't
false
make them
stats.
true.
You can easily
That don't
look it
make them
up.
true.
Okay, go give me a source. Prove me wrong. I'll wait.
You prove me wrong. You know what's awesome is tomorrow you'll be completely irrelevant.
And yet, I'll still be there for Thanksgiving because your daddy's that into it. So tell me again,
You know, I'm
why are
dead
you
ass. We
voting
like
for
to
the
throw
criminal?
hands
Can you
lots
just
of
hurry up
times.
and answer?
I don't even know what dumbass question you asked.
Why
You're all over the
are
place.
you
You're all over
voting
the place.
for the
What do you want,
criminal?
ADD? What do you take? Ritalin or something? You need some. You need some Ritalin, bro.
Okay, I don't know what your father's name is, and I don't care if it's Ritalin or whatever it is. You don't need
You're
to
all
keep
over the
asking me
place.
out for your daddy.
All
Again, I'm
over the
trying to
place.
get a better understanding here. Are you going to converse or are you going to cry?
Are you going to converse? I did. That's what you sound like. You sound like a complete fucking moron. So what do you want to know?
When were you dropped on your head as a baby? Sorry, I just assumed. That right there, that was an assumption.
Yeah.
So anyway, why are you voting for the criminal rapist?
You're a
Is it like a
badass on
personal
that
thing?
keyboard, aren't you, buddy?
Can you just hurry up?
And do what?
Answer the question. Like, is it a processing issue? Or are you good?
Which one? Yeah, no, I'm good. Yeah,
What
no,
do
it's
you mean, which
processing.
question? I've asked one
I'm obviously
question.
garbage. I'm unintelligent.
I mean, you said it, not me, but hey,
Right,
you know what?
yeah,
At least
you
you're
said
accepting
I
it.
mean, you said it.
So anyway, you're voting for the criminal because?
Why is he a criminal?
Because the justice system says he's a criminal.
You mean the weaponized DOJ system?
Okay, that's a weird
Prosecution? Is that
That's
what you mean?
a weird thing to say, but
Do you not think it's weird that the second
sure.
guy in charge of the DOJ left the DOJ to go to New York City
I
prosecutor's
love your
office?
lies. So tell
That's
me
not
again,
weird.
who found
That's
Donald
fact.
Trump guilty? Who
That's a
found Donald
fact.
Trump guilty?
Who was the
That was a lie.
prosecutor in that?
Give
Who
me a
was the
source.
prosecutor?
Give me a source. Hold on.
Who
Give
was
me
the
a source.
prosecutor in the case?
Source. Go. See, the issue is you're not getting a source and you think you're just going to keep lying. Let's
What's the
better
source?
understand
You want
this.
me to
Donald Trump was found guilty on 34 felony counts by a unanimous jury appointed by his own lawyers. He's guilty. He paid Republican lawyers to appoint a jury, and they found him guilty. You then bring up the Jobs and Tax Act of 2017, but you're so ignorant, you even know what the name of the policy was. You also didn't recognize it was a 1% to 2% tax cut for the middle class. You didn't even bring that up. Instead, you're so ignorant that you said, well, the 14% corporate tax cut helped you, but mind you, it didn't help you. It increased your cost $230 billion and led to an $8 trillion debt. So your costs went up, your taxes went up, and you paid for an $8 trillion debt, but you're so ignorant that you didn't recognize that. And that's on you. Like, this isn't a classroom, this is a debate. Either come up here prepared or get ready to be slapped down, you know, harder than your daddy likes getting slapped down. So again, tell me, and in better certain terms, why. Okay, he's not engaging in a conversation. Let's move on. Anyway, but tell your dad I did say hi. Miss him. I'm just kidding. I know your dad's not with us anymore. He's probably looking up on all of us. Doug, how you voting for the criminal?
Good.
I didn't ask you
No,
if you were
I am
good.
not,
I
Doug.
said,
No, I'm
again, Doug, I was going to start roasting.
Listen,
Doug,
I'm
you're
not
in the zone.
Hold on,
Listen,
I'm
Doug,
not voting
I
for the criminal. I'm voting.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it. I was in the zone. Y'all were going to have me start roasting somebody from our own community. Guys, I'm in the zone. What are you doing? What are you doing? Jason, why do you hate America?
I don't.
Are you voting for Trump?
Hell no.
Guys! Okay, let's do a quick reset here, folks. If you are voting for Donald Trump, if you're voting for Trump, if you're voting for Trump, join the guest request. If you're voting for Kamala, please do not be in the guest request right now. It throws me off my game, okay? It doesn't help me. It does not help my game, okay? Steve, you have an echo. Fix that. Scroll out of the live and scroll back in. I'm going to count to 5 for you to figure it out. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, you can't figure it out, so goodbye. Okay, this one's not coming up.
Hello?
Fetus deletus. Poof, and they're gone. How you voting for Trump?
Yeah.
Can you like change your voice and do something else? What like I didn't like that voice. Can you like
I'm
change it to
sorry.
something else?
I'm sorry, this is how I sound.
Okay, well it's gross. So can you fix that?
That's my real voice.
I get that's your voice. That's not the flex you think it is. I'm telling you, if you can change it, that would be great. Like I don't know, do an
voting for
accent or
Kamala?
something. Can you do an? I can't listen to that for 15 minutes. You
I'm
need to do an
voting for
accent or
Kamala?
something. You got to do an accent or something, or like, I don't know.
I'm on your side. I'm voting for Kamala.
Oh, I'm in the zone. What are you doing, guys? You're making
Why
me
are you
roast
roasting
you.
me like that,
I'm
bro?
sorry. You came up here. I just said if you're gonna come up here and I'm in the zone, you're gonna get roasted, and I'm not. You know.
All right. I'll leave. I'll go. I'm sorry.
Thank you for coming up. Guys, I tried to tell you 1,000 times now, if you're in the guest request and you're voting for Kamala, you need to leave the guest request or expect to get roasted. If you are voting for Donald Trump, join the guest request and prepare to hold your own, because that was a sample of what you'll be dealing with. Yo, you're like making me like... to be clear, did I not warn? I'm pretty sure I gave fair warning. I feel like I gave fair warning. I think I did I not? I think I gave fair warning. Anyway, trying to get up our next guest. I was so fair. I was like, guys, you gotta be prepared. You can't just, you know, I was so, hello. Okay. Did you just like ghost me? What happened? I saw you had a dog in your profile photo. Are you sending it to Springfield? Okay, I guess they ran away. Let's get up our next guest. Okay, that one's not coming in. Hello?
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 What's going on?
Hello?
Can you hear me?
I wish I couldn't. What's with the wind?
I'm leaving.
Are we in the
base
inside
right
of your
now.
head? Where it's just like an empty head, or like what's with the wind?
Nah, just walking in my car.
Okay. Do you want to hurry up? I'm not telling you to run because I'm sure you MAGA Republicans don't do a lot of that unless it's running away from police officers on January 6th. But can you tell me again, why are you voting for the criminal?
I do a lot of running. Actually, I'm in the military.
Oh, wow. So are you voting for the criminal?
I am voting for Trump.
Great.
Yes.
So why are you voting for Trump when he first off dodged the draft? 2, saluted a North Korean soldier and his photo is currently being used as war propaganda? 3, exploited the graves of soldiers for his own personal profit to the point where Arlington National Cemetery soldiers had to file a restraining order against him? Why are you voting for Donald Trump when he couldn't negotiate a deal to bring home U.S. Marine Paul Whelan? And why he wouldn't hold Vladimir Putin accountable? 4, putting bounties on the heads of soldiers like you. Why are you voting for Donald Trump when he has no solution to the conflict between Ukraine and Russia or Gaza and Israel, and his conflict is to defund Ukraine through weaponry and then renuclearize them? Do you want nuclear war? Let's start there. Do you want nuclear war?
All right. Hello, you done? Hello? Can you hear me? Hello? I don't know if you can hear me. Hello? I gotta know if you can hear me. No? Yes?
So anyway, why do you support crime?
Crime? How so?
No, you know how so. Go ahead.
Well, I would say I don't support crime.
Notice
but
how
I know
immediately when I
what
said
say
you
is
know,
because-
explain, you knew exactly what I meant. It's so crazy. It's almost like you were trying to gaslight people into thinking you don't know what crimes we're talking about when you do know it's the 34 felony counts, civil fraud, and sexual abuse. Do you have kids?
Well, I was just making sure that's what you were talking
Do
about.
you have kids?
I do. I have one.
Okay. Would you let somebody who was found liable of sexual abuse babysit them?
I would let Trump babysit my kid.
That
yes.
wasn't a yes or no, but you seem to have thought you were going with secret answer C. Let's do a yes or no again. Would you let somebody who's found liable of sexual abuse babysit your kid?
No.
Okay, but you'll let Trump do it.
Yep.
Yeah, that's not hypocritical.
I just, for some reason,
A convicted felon felon can't
My whole
own
family
a
really
pew-pew.
is
A
full of
convicted
convicted
felon.
felons. I mean-
Oh, that's why you like him. You can relate to him. I don't know about you, but I think it's pretty easy not to commit
No,
a
it's just
crime.
most of the people
No,
that I
I
know
think
are
it's
convicted
pretty
felons.
easy
I've
not to
never
commit a
met actually
crime.
a mean convicted
Hey,
felon.
fun fact, if you're saying you're surrounding yourself around convicted felons, that's not really the flex you think it is, but I do feel bad for that kid of yours. So let's better understand this once more. You're running around saying like, oh, I'm surrounded by felons, I want to vote for a felon. I don't know about you, but it's pretty easy not to commit a crime. Like, I maybe I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's easy to follow the law.
Oh, it is, yes.
It's almost like it's written
Very
on
much
paper
so.
for us. It's almost like it was written down on paper for us. Okay, you have wind again. Are we good, or did you put the phone back in that empty noggin of yours?
Nope. Like I said, I'm on a military base.
Congratulations, I
whenever
don't
you
care.
leave the
So again,
airstrip,
why are
you
you
have to
voting for
walk
the
outside of
criminal?
your car.
Listen, your service is
I mean,
redundant at this
I would
point.
like
When
to
you're voting,
explain.
pay attention. Pay attention. Normally, I would say thank you for your service, but at this point in time, your service is redundant when you're voting against your own interests and for the candidate who said he wants to dissolve amendments within our Constitution. You're effectively saying that you are fighting to defend our freedom and our Constitution, but at the same time voting against our freedom and our Constitution. For example, the freedom to choose, the freedom to organize, the freedom to unionize, the freedom to vote, the freedom to marry and love. Yeah. So again, the military service is absolutely redundant at this point if you're voting for Donald Trump. And I mean that so sincerely. So anyway, why are you voting for the criminal?
Well, I would like to tell you. Just give me a second, all right? And you'll
Are you
figure it out.
literally driving
Just
right now?
let me talk. And you'll listen. Yeah.
Okay. Congratulations. Again, if you want to become a felon yourself, I get it, because you're surrounded by felons and you're voting for a felon, but you shouldn't be texting and driving. Let's move on. Ew. I don't like Becca's profile photo. It's just weird. Let's get up the next.
No. At least have a shooter.
Cages is dead.
Again, folks, coming on here and expecting people to say, like, thank you for your service while you're simultaneously voting against the very freedoms you're fighting for is silly. It's silly. If you're fighting to defend freedom, and then you're voting for the candidate who is overturning the rights of women, for example, right? Stripping away what was the law of the land for 50 years, then your service is redundant. Then what's the point? Like, what's the point? That's like making a cake and then throwing it directly in the trash. Hi, guest. Are you voting for Trump?
No, I'm voting for Kamala.
Thank you for voting. Let's get up our next guest here. Folks, if you are voting for Trump, join the guest request. I want to have a couple more opposition conversations before we move on to Kamala supporters.
Yeah. What's up?
You voting for Trump?
No.
You voting for Trump?
Yep.
Ew. You voting for Trump?
Yes, sir, I am.
That's fucking gross. Sorry, that was rude. Can we start over?
I was hoping so.
Yeah, no, that's okay. Sorry. That was rude. I apologize. Are you voting for Trump?
I am, sir.
That's fucking really gross. So anyway, why are you voting for a criminal?
For the simple fact of keeping boys out of girls' restrooms, keeping our military strong.
Okay, that's very simple. Tell your son not to go into the women's room.
I'm telling my son to be a straight man, not to be a boy that thinks he's a girl.
Okay, again, I'm telling you, if you're worried about boys going into the girls' room, just tell your son not to go in there. I don't know what to tell you. And other than that, instead of advocate, listen, I don't know why you MAGA Republicans. Okay, thank you for talking. Thank you for talking, but we're done. Anyway, you're getting kind of weird. So again, not kind of weird. You're getting really borderline creepy.
Okay, then let's not talk about the kids. Let's talk about the men in the military.
Okay, Diddy, calm down. Let's get back into this. You're advocating for separating bathrooms. I agree. And yet, I'm not saying that we should separate bathrooms.
And
you're not paying attention. Thanks for the F slur. Anyway. Reparations, folks. Venmo and PayPal in the chat. I am not getting called the F slur up here for funsies. Anyway. So this guest is blatantly ignorant, right? He is sitting here saying that we should separate bathrooms. I agree, but not between gender, because I don't need a communal restroom, right? I don't need to sit on a toilet next to one man on my left and a man on my right. I'd rather just sit in a private stall on my lonesome, right? I would rather have like how Starbucks has it, where you have one restroom or two restrooms, and it's not gender specific, it's just for one individual. If you have an issue with, like, men going into the women's restroom or women going into the men's restroom, and that's because of safety reasons, fun fact, women going to the women's restroom ain't going to make it any safer. So how about you just focus on making a unisex bathroom where it's one bathroom per person individually that's locked specifically to them, and then you could do your dookie in private. So easy. Oh my gosh. Look at that. It's almost like we don't have to make this into a massive issue. It's almost like we could just have private stalls. Am I wrong here? I feel like that's a good path forward on both sides of the aisle. Is there like a reason why MAGA Republican men really want to go to the bathroom with other men? Like, is it a closet is class thing? Like, what's going on? Like, why are they so, like, this guy seems very interested in being in the restroom with men. Like, things don't need to be this difficult. Like, if you want to go potty, go potty. Let's just get a separate restroom, right? The same way at home you have one restroom. Do you, like, when you go to the restroom, does your family all go to the restroom at the same time in the one restroom? Like, can we not just have private stalls? What are we doing here? Like, I feel like that's not really a left issue or a right issue. It's more of a, I don't need to take a dumpy next to two grown-ass men. I don't really care what gender they are. I just don't want people using the restroom next to me. Is that like correct to me if I'm wrong? Is that I feel like that's pretty straightforward. Guess, do you disagree? Do you really want to use the bathroom with men that bad?
Shit. I've been locked up to where I didn't have something in between me and another guy. So
I don't need to know about your personal life. I don't care if you have things between you and
I know
other
how
men.
to keep my eyes straight.
You're advocating
What it
for
is,
using restrooms with
I
other
don't
men.
like where they're
Why
trying
are
to
you
push
dodging what I
their
just
agenda.
said? Ew! Why are you dodging what I just said? I just said, should you not
What
just
did
use
you
the
just say?
restroom on your lonesome? And you just went back into, no, I must
let's
use
put
the
it like
restroom
this.
with
How
other
many
men.
genders do you believe
Oh
there
my
are?
gosh,
How
ew.
many genders do you believe there are?
Ew! You straight up just said that you have to use the restroom with other men, that you can't just advocate for like having a single person restroom. Okay, then the closet's glass. What's going on? Like, I'm sorry to break the news to you, but like, I think I speak for everybody when I say most people don't have a problem using the restroom on their own and alone in an individual room. I don't think we need to have a communal restroom. Why do you want to have a communal restroom so bad?
Well, I'm stupid to not know what communal means. But,
Well, I didn't say it, but you sure can.
how many
So again,
genders- I know I am.
communal is
That's why I was
community.
able to say
So
it.
why are you advocating for a
How many
community?
genders do you believe
Excuse
there
me.
is then? Since
Excuse
we're-
me.
how many
Excuse
genders do you
me.
believe there
Excuse
is?
me. You're not answering. What is this? I'm not going to sit here talking to Diddy. If you're not going to answer the question, then you got to go, right? Because this is getting really gross. Again, you come up here and you're advocating for using a community restroom, and you're saying I
How many
must have a
genders do you
man to my
believe there
left
are?
and right. You just did it again. I'm not going to respond to you, so stop trying. I'll respond after you answer my question, right? Like that. I feel
Yeah,
like
what's
I've
your
made that
question?
crystal clear.
What's your question then?
So I brought up how, hey, if you're concerned about restrooms, maybe instead of being a creep and advocating for having a communal restroom or a community restroom where you have two men on each side of you using the restroom at the same time as you, because that's kind of weird. And we're one of a few countries that do that. Maybe you should say, hey, let's advance and just have individual restrooms. Have you ever been to a Starbucks outside of your prison?
No, sir.
Okay, so there's a place called Starbucks, and it's a coffee place, and they have restrooms,
I know
and
what
they're for
Starbucks is.
individual
I've just never
people.
been there.
There you go.
I
Well,
drink normal coffee. I drink Folgers from my house. I don't drink them iced coffees. I don't. So I've never been inside of a Starbucks or nothing like that. I don't know how their restrooms work.
at this rate, I think it's probably because you were banned from going into a Starbucks for wanting to use the restroom as somebody else. So my point being is the restroom at Starbucks is meant for individual people, and one person goes in at a time. So maybe you should try to work towards advocating like for individual restrooms instead of whatever community potty nonsense you got going on.
So you're talking like at a fast food restaurant, how you gotta wait for the next person to come out?
Oh, I'm sorry. Did you really want to go in
That's
at the
mostly
same
how
time
fast
as
food
them?
restaurants are too, right?
Starbucks is fast food.
That's good too as well. That is good as well.
Great.
I
But
don't
your
want
whole
my
point
little
in
niece or
response
my
to that.
little fucking daughter going in there and a dude trying to go in behind her thinking he's a girl. 'Cause he's
Excuse me.
not.
It
That's
shouldn't
the whole
matter.
point of
Pardon
it.
me. Pardon me. It shouldn't matter if it's a man or woman going in there. Your kid should be able to use the restroom alone, right? With nobody there. You're making this really weird, right? You're saying
How is it really weird if that's
because
what's really
nobody
happening?
should be
if
in
it's
there
really
with them.
happening, it's really weird, right? Thank
Okay,
you.
again, I'm
I
trying
was
to
just making
explain
sure
to
we
you.
were on
You're
the
not.
same point.
He's not understanding. We're not on the same point. You're advocating for community potties, and I'm not. I'm saying that your children should be allowed to use the restroom alone, individually, without anybody in there at the same time. You're saying that
Oh,
you
that's
want
good too.
people
That's
in
good
there.
too. Yes,
You're
that
saying,
would
for
be
example,
good too.
for
That
example,
nobody's in there
listen
with
closely.
them,
Do you have a
that
son?
would be good too.
Do you have a son?
Yes.
Okay, so you're saying that a grown man is going to go into the little girl's room and that you don't want them to. I agree, they shouldn't because there's somebody in there. So
Okay.
it should be individual.
That's why
But I'm not
voting
done.
for Trump.
You're not. You're voting for Trump based off of ignorance. I'm trying to explain something and you keep cutting me off. Again, you're being a blatant creep with this. So one more time, because this is really giving Diddy at this point. You are saying that you want grown adults entering the restroom at the same time as your child. That is weird. I'm saying that you're advocating for the wrong thing. Instead of saying you want a community restroom, you should be advocating for having individual restrooms, not based off of any reason in regard to gender, not based off of any reason in regard to anything, except your child should have the decency of being permitted to use the restroom alone. You're turning around and saying, well, I don't want a grown man going into the restroom at the same time as my daughter. Correct. You should also not want a grown woman going in there at the same time as your daughter. Your daughter should be allowed to use the restroom alone. And yet you're advocating for what? Like, now you're saying if those grown men are P3DOs, then what? Wouldn't they just go into the little boys' room and do the same thing? They're the same gender. See, you're not solving the issue. You're making this into a gender issue. It's not a gender issue, right? So again, one more time here, you should advocate for like a family restroom, like a unisex restroom. That's why they're called unisex restrooms, right? You should advocate for that. Like, your bathroom obsession is really weird, and it's really incoherent. I feel like this is something that everybody could agree with, right? Like, when you have like that one individual restroom, but you're voting for Trump, who really likes using the restroom with other men. Like, he's like really into using restrooms with other men. That's on him. But like, this is getting weird. Okay? Okay, let's move on. And God bless your kids, because I know for a fact they're about to have a very difficult childhood with you as their father. And I'm sure they're so proud.
Hi.
Hello.
I am from Texas, and I currently have not voted yet. But I have been thinking about just voting Trump. If you can give me any reasons not to vote for Trump, I would love to hear it.
Sure.
So far as of what I've been hearing, and everything.
May I put you on mute?
Absolutely.
Don't run away halfway through me speaking.
I won't.
So you have Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris, a middle-class black woman who comes from middle-class roots, who became a district attorney in America when she had no right to do so, because every card was socioeconomically stacked up against her to ensure she never persevered, and let alone she decided to continue fighting, and then she succeeded, becoming an attorney general, leading the largest Department of Justice, second only to the U.S. Department of Justice, and a state that had the 5th largest economy in the world. Mind you, she led the largest law enforcement department in the United States. Then she became a senator and a vice president. From the get-go of this, we need to recognize that MAGA Republicans claim, like Donald Trump, claim that Democrats are weak on crime and they let criminals go. Kamala Harris is the only Democrat in decades that MAGA Republicans and Republicans claim was too tough on crime. That she was over-prosecuting. Pick your battle. Are Democrats weak? Are Democrats weak on crime or over-prosecuting? Are they letting criminals go or are they locking too many people up? Kamala was that strong of an attorney general, prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. And MAGA Republicans are scared of that because she is the law and order candidate and they are voting for a felon who was found guilty on 34 felony counts, liable of sexual abuse, liable on civil fraud. Donald Trump, who has zero decency. This is a man who buried his wife on a golf course, but has the nerve to talk about Kamala Harris for having stepchildren. Donald Trump has had children with 3 different wives. You look at Donald Trump. Donald Trump does not believe in freedom. He says, for example, on the right to choose, that if you choose to have a baby, he will not financially support you, but he will force you to give birth because he will not permit you to have the right to choose an abortion. Give me one moment. Donald Trump says if you want an abortion, he's not going to allow you to have one. And if you want to choose to have a baby, he's not going to financially support that fetus after you give birth. He says you're going to be forced to give birth nonetheless, but he will not support you. That is not freedom. That is not the right to choose. That is not pro-life. That is pro-forced birth. That is treating women like property, women like cattle, women like handmaids. You have Kamala Harris who says, hey, I believe in the right to choose, but if you choose to have a baby, I'm going to economically support you with a permanent $6,000 child tax credit. Kamala Harris, who says, I'm going to support your right to unionize. You want to work a full-time job? You're going to earn a living wage under Kamala Harris. You want to work a full-time job? You're never going to earn $1 to your name under Donald Trump. He's made that very clear. Kamala Harris says if you're a black American, I'm going to ensure that your vote is protected, that it counts and equates to that of a white man. Donald Trump says absolutely not. No in Georgia, no in Louisiana. If you're a black American in Donald Trump's America, you vote, and it's going to be 3/5. That's Donald Trump's America. You look at Donald Trump's America, if you're an LGBTQ plus American, guess what? You can love, but not here. Donald Trump says you need to leave the country. You need to leave the country to have your marriage validated. Kamala Harris says she's going to protect love because love is love. She's going to protect marriage equality. Donald Trump says if you're a transgender American, you are not allowed to join our military. People who want to serve our country. Kamala Harris says we are going to protect and defend our military veterans the same way that she passed the PACT Act, the act that provided the largest healthcare expansion to veterans who were exposed to toxins in decades. Then you have Donald Trump. Exploited the graves of soldiers at Arlington National Cemetery for his own personal profit, incited an insurrection that left law enforcement officers deceased. He says he's the law and order candidate and yet said he wants to defund the police on April 5th of 2023. And everything here can be fact-checked via NBC, AP, and Fox News. Donald Trump, who saluted a North Korean soldier whose photo is getting used as war propaganda right now. Kim Jong-un is walking Donald Trump on a leash. Vladimir Putin put bounties on the heads of our soldiers. Donald Trump refused to hold him accountable for it. Donald Trump could have negotiated a deal with Vladimir Putin to bring home U.S. Marine Paul Whelan. But you want to gaslight us, MAGA Republicans. You want to gaslight us into thinking if he couldn't even negotiate that deal, that in some alternate reality, he may be able to negotiate a deal to end the conflict between Ukraine and Russia. He can't bring home a Marine, but you think he's going to end an invasion? Kamala Harris, Inflation Reduction Act, American Rescue Plan, CHIPS and Science Act, the infrastructure package. Kamala Harris, $25,000 down payment for first-time homeowners, $50,000 for small business entrepreneurs, $6,000 for first-time parents. Donald Trump hikes up our tariffs. That hikes up our taxes. $230 billion the first time, $3,500 to $4,900 coming out the next time. Donald Trump increased our debt $8 trillion. Donald Trump says he's going to increase it $3 trillion more. I am tired of paying for corporate tax cuts so that ignorant MAGA Republicans can pretend that they made money. MAGA, you did not make a cent under Donald Trump. He took more money out of your pocket than you retained in your pocket. You lost money. You lost money. You lost money. You lost out on gas. You lost out when he price gouged. You lost out with your taxes. You lost out on tariffs. Then Kamala Harris and Joe Biden, they decrease inflation 2.1% today, 2.4% under Donald Trump, and you say inflation skyrocketing. It's decreasing. It is lower than it was under Donald Trump. You say gas is high. No, it's not. Gas is pre-pandemic levels, lower than it was under Donald Trump. You talk about Donald Trump keeping promises. He said he was going to replace the ACA. He didn't. You said he was going to build an infrastructure package. He didn't. Kamala did. You said he was going to build the wall. He didn't. You said Mexico would pay for it. They didn't. Where's the wall? Where's the Mexico paying for the wall package? Where's the border package? Where's the infrastructure package? Oh, that's right. Kamala passed those. Kamala passed those. What did he pass? An infamous Muslim ban that was overturned? Banning transgender Americans out of our military? That was overturned. Remain in Mexico? That was overturned. It was unconstitutional. What has he done that hasn't been overturned for being a blatant violation of our Constitution? And speaking of violating our Constitution, the Second Amendment. You gaslight us Second Amendment Democrats into thinking your candidate believes in the Second Amendment, and he doesn't. He implemented a bump stock ban. It was overturned by his own Supreme Court in June of this year. They ruled he is the first modern-day president to have violated the Second Amendment. And yet, you say he's going to protect it. That's his own Supreme Court saying he's a constitutional violator. So what do you have between these two candidates? Why would you vote for Kamala instead of Trump? Let me tell you. You have a felon with Donald Trump. You have a sexual abuser with Donald Trump. You have a civil fraudster with Donald Trump. You have a twice impeached insurrectionist by textbook definition with Donald Trump. You have somebody who hates America with Donald Trump. Somebody who calls Puerto Ricans trash with Donald Trump. You have somebody who exploits our veterans with Donald Trump. Somebody who increases taxes with Donald Trump. Somebody who mocks LGBTQ plus Americans, strips away the rights of women, would rather fuel the flames of greedflation and shrinkflation instead of cutting costs for the middle class with Donald Trump. You have a constitutional violator. Somebody whose own vice president won't endorse him, let alone run with him. Where's Mike Pence? Where is Melania? We know where Ivana is. He buried her on a golf course. That's Donald Trump. That's his character. Buries his wife on a resort so that he could get a tax cut. What do you have with Donald Trump? A fascist, and you can keep running, but I ain't done, guest. You have a fascist with Donald Trump, and that's not me saying it. That's his chief of staff, John Kelly, saying it. What do you have with Kamala? District attorney, attorney general, vice president, senator. A quality candidate. That's what you have with Kamala. Hopefully that helped. Did that help? Did I explain that right? How was that? You asked. I answered. Thanks for the love, folks. I appreciate it. I want to say a massive thank you to Megan as well for the $5 on Cash App. Y'all are immensely kind. Thank you for the love. Listen, folks ask, you know, MAGA Republic. Oh, thank you so much, Terry, for the $20 on PayPal. That is beyond kind, Terry. Thank you so much for the love. MAGA Republicans ask us all the time. They say, hey, why are you crying? Why are you so emotional? If crying and emotional is the new word for passion and rage, then sure, I'm crying and emotional. But excuse me for wanting to fight for the freedoms of women, fight for the freedoms of LGBTQ plus Americans, fight for the freedoms of union workers, fight for the freedoms of veterans who are fighting for us. If that makes me emotional and that means I'm crying, then I'm happy to shed some tears. How you doing?
I'm good. So I was here last week and I was an undecided voter, and I just want to say I just voted for Kamala like 20 minutes ago. So yeah, it's actually because of you. So
stop. All right, hold on. Give me a second. You stay right there. Just give me a second.
Okay.
Thank you for voting for Kamala. And thank you for doing more research into it. Thank you for listening in. I want to say, like, that's first off deeply inspiring, knowing that you continue doing research and looking into the candidate to ensure it was the right one for you. And I also want you to know, even if after that conversation, even if you were like, you know what, Donald Trump's the candidate for me, still be happy that you did the research. Thank you for voting for Kamala, though. Immensely grateful that you took the time.
Yeah, after our conversation, like literally like probably like 10 minutes after, I watched the whole debate again, and coming in from your point of view and not my parents' point of view, I was like, wow, this is actually very obvious who I should be voting for. So I really appreciate your point of view.
Well, thank you for doing that. Because it's not just your rights or my rights on the line. Like, it really is about the future of this country. And, you know, you might not agree with Kamala on everything, but at least you know that she'll listen to you and that you can pressure her. You can pressure her,
agree with her, you know,
to work with you. Yeah. And then Donald Trump, difference is he would never listen to us.
Yeah.
Doesn't care about us. He's made that clear. But Olivia, thank you so much again for coming up, and thank you for taking the time. Thank you for letting me know. That is deeply inspirational. That just, thank you.
Yeah, have a good day.
You too.
Bye.
Folks, that means a lot. That really does. That means a lot. Hello, are you voting for Trump?
How's it going, dude?
Wow, first off, I want to say a massive thank you to Kelsey, to Tarina, and also to Vanessa. I just received your messages on Venmo. Greatly appreciated. Thank you for the love, Tarina. Thank you, Vanessa, and thank you, Kelsey. So, are you voting for Trump?
You know, I don't know. I'm 18, so this is my first year voting, and I haven't voted yet. I might go down later. I live in a really blue state, so there's not really a point. But
what's your state?
Massachusetts.
Okay.
But I do ideologically agree with Trump a bit more than Kamala.
Okay.
I think there's a lot of. I think I'm usually more like Democratic and left leaning, but I don't know. I don't think Kamala's as qualified as like other left candidates. I mean, I've been watching her live a lot, and you keep just throwing around, felon and saying, why are you voting for a felon? So
I'm not throwing it around. It's important to note.
Well, sure. So
to be clear, if this race was Joe Biden and Nikki Haley, but you guys had your chance to pick Nikki Haley.
Nikki Haley was a better
You
candidate.
didn't. But you didn't pick her. You picked the felon. You guys picked the sexual abuser and the civil fraudster. You have to own up to that.
Yeah, but
if you picked Nikki, we would just be calling her an ambassador because that's all she was. She was an ambassador. She was a governor.
But we have to dissect
But you picked the felon.
Sure,
No, there's no... sir, listen closely on this, okay?
Can I ask you a question?
I need you to first engage in this conversation.
I am. I want to talk about how
I
he's a
hear that you want to ask the question. He is a felon on 34 felony counts, falsifying business records, checks, and statements. If your argument is that you believe there was political persecution, I'm not entertaining it.
So, once again, do you believe all felons are bad people?
Yes.
Okay, so you believe black people are usually worse than white people?
What are you talking about?
You said
that
all-
was
you
insane.
said-
Take
you
a
said
step
all-
back. Absolutely not.
You said
Take a
all-
step back. First off, I think it's very easy not to commit a crime. Right? You want me to say that not all felons are bad people. So I said exactly the opposite of what you would want me to say, that felons are all bad people. That shocked you, and then you just said something blatantly racist. You just suggested that all felons are black people, and you just suggested that those who aren't felons are all white people. What you just said, shut your mouth. Shut your mouth. You just said something so blatantly and disgustingly racist. So again, you wanted me to say that not all felons are bad people, and I knew you did. So I said all felons are bad people, and then you said, so you think all black Americans are worse than white Americans? That is blatantly racist. That is blatantly racist, and now I know why you want to vote for Donald Trump. So don't you dare try to engage in this conversation further. You are voting against Kamala Harris because she is a black woman, and you don't want her to be president. But let me break some news for you. You will be calling Kamala Harris your Madam President for the next 8 years. So practice it in the mirror, pronounce her name properly, and then instead of spewing your racism, work on your illegitimate, intolerant, and ignorant beliefs. Good riddance. I cannot believe he just said what he just said. Does everybody understand how that was blatantly racist? He just said, effectively, that every black American is a felon and that every white American is innocent, when literally the white American is the felon and the black American is the prosecutor. Yeah, fun fact, if you're going to make the argument that black Americans are the felons... Huh? Huh? Help me out here, chat. Huh? Huh? So again, you understand why when we have people coming up here spewing this nonsense, why I'm not entertaining it. Hi.
Hi.
Puppy.
Thank you. So the only thing I want to just mention is I feel like a lot of people forget exactly what Trump did wrong during his presidency. Like, okay, so recently I was just doing some research on both, not only Kamala, but also Trump, right? Just to see a background as to more research, just delving into like the things that I quite literally forgot even happened during that period of time. There's this great video that I watched by Robert, I'm not sure how to say his last name, but it's like R-E-I-C-H on YouTube. And he goes over 75 things that he's done. And just with that alone, I just cannot fathom as to why people want him back in office.
Well, I think we got to recognize first and foremost that MAGA Republicans, a lot of them, they really do have short attention spans. They don't even remember January 6th, which is why 60 Minutes for their last episode this week did a rerun of their January 6th episode because so many folks had forgotten. Morgan, thank you for the Coral Cove. But can you message me what that... If you find it, can you message me it? Because I'll share it around.
Oh, what, the video?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, sure. Hold on 1 second.
But thank you so much for coming up. I appreciate you taking the time. And yeah, just message me the video. I would love to share it around. Thanks again for taking the time.
Of course.
Alrighty, folks. Again, if you are voting for Donald Trump, join the guest request. Let's have a conversation about it. Come on up. I'm sure that this guest is going to be very intelligent and not ignorant at all. Speaking of Roberts, I met Robert De Niro. I went to an Eagles tailgate. He was just going around campaigning for Kamala.
and 52 cents.
Hi, are you voting for Trump?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, next up. Apparently, I didn't know this, but apparently Robert De Niro is an Eagles fan. Fly, Eagles, fly. Hello, guest. Are you voting for Trump? Okay, you can even say it right. He didn't even say it right. He didn't even say the word right. If you're gonna hate crime, at least say the word right. Whoa! What just happened? Hold on. I'll tell you in a second. Lucy, hi. Are you voting for Trump?
I am not voting for Trump, but I have a few reasons why.
I want to say a massive thank you to Lori. Lori, first off, that is an immense blessing what you just sent me. I don't even know where to start. Thank you for the love. Lori just sent $100 to me, which is... That is immensely kind. Wow. Okay. All right. That election already has me so emotional. So when somebody does something like that, it just makes me break down. Lori, thank you so much for the love. Thank you for the kindness. I don't know what to say. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. That is beyond kind. Again, the election already has me emotional. So don't judge me. Don't judge me! But it means a lot. And it's just immensely kind that people would support me like that. Trey, how are you voting for Trump?
I'm undecided right now.
Dude, you have like a few hours. You understand? If you're not voting, just say you're not voting.
Well, I could go vote. I mean, it's like 10 minutes away. I'm just not sure like who I should vote for.
Vote for whoever you want. Goodbye. Folks, go to KamalaHarris.com or DonaldJTrump.com if you don't know. Like, I'm not going to keep playing with... It's the day. It's the day. Right? Go to KamalaHarris.com or DonaldJTrump.com. Like, if you have a few hours left and you haven't voted, obviously... Like, and you're saying you're still undecided. It's not like you're like, oh, I'm voting for Kamala or I'm voting for Trump and there's a few hours left. I need to go vote. You're saying, oh, I'm undecided and there's a few hours left. Dude, I can't educate you on the past 8 years of Donald Trump and Kamala Harris in the matter of a couple hours. Like, come on, man. Go check their website. Vote for whichever candidate has policy that will better serve you. That's my advice. That's my advice. I gotta imagine, though, he's not voting, which is why I'm not entertaining it. Hi, you voting for Trump?
Maybe.
Are you voting for Trump?
Let's say I did vote for Trump. What would
Okay,
be
so you already did vote for Trump.
Let's say I did.
So then why would you say maybe you're voting for Trump? You see how this whole... Can we all take a step back? Do you all understand what I mean when these people say, I'm undecided? They're not undecided. They're just Trumpers pretending they're undecided. You see the issue? See my point, guys? How they're like, I'm undecided. Maybe I'm voting for Trump. And then they say, did you? And they say, yeah, I already voted for Trump. Yes, they were looking to waste our time, making us believe they are undecided. They're not. Hi, you voting for Trump?
No, sir. Not at all. I just wanted to come up and say thank you for your lives. I love watching you I watch you every single day. And I just wanted to say, I appreciate you trying to convince these people last minute because it's so frustrating. Because I have 3 daughters, and one of them's gay and getting married to a woman in February in Mexico.
Congrats to your family. That's amazing.
Yeah, thank you. I really appreciate you. But me and her have been having such arguments now because she keeps texting me all these YouTube videos of why Kamala's evil and the whole Democratic Party is all pedophiles.
Oh,
and I just
okay,
have
wait,
to
now
say-
I gotta let you go. I'm sorry, I gotta let you go. We can't be using that word on TikTok, unfortunately. I'm sorry. If I didn't do that, TikTok was gonna make a whole deal out of it. But I appreciate you coming up. Thank you for chatting. Folks in the chat, if you're voting for Kamala Harris, come on up. We're done talking to Trumpers. The Trumpers are just being ignorant and illiterate. So we're just gonna move on to Kamala supporters. I think it's time for our daily dose of intelligence, and we gotta have some intelligence. So it's time for Kamala supporters. No more MAGAs. No more MAGAs. Hi, voting for Kamala?
Yes, I am. I was going to just be up here real quick because there are other things on the ballot. There are things that are so important right now. I am in New York State, and even in a state that is as blue as New York, abortion rights and women's reproductive rights are on the ballot. And if you are living in New York State, I want you to vote yes on Prop 1. It enshrines it into our state constitution, and God, it is so important. And there are people that are projecting it, like portraying it as something that it's not. Vote yes on Prop 1. That's all I wanted to say. Happy MAGA series finale day.
Thank you so much for coming up. Have a good one.
You too.
W's to New York, please. W's to New York. Gotta love New York. I love New York. Good food. Tell you now, I love Philadelphia's food, but New York food hits different. Oh my gosh. Victoria, y'all. Victoria, thank you so much for the $50 on Venmo. That is beyond kind. She said for a true patriot. First off, they haven't called a true patriot. I appreciate that. Thank you so much for the love. I will say, like, us Democrats really are the true patriots. Like, MAGA Republicans call themselves patriots, but in what sense is an insurrectionist a patriot? Or in what sense is somebody who tries to overthrow the Constitution a patriot? Like, they're not patriots. Democrats are patriots. Protecting democracy, protecting freedom, that's patriotism. Hi, guest. How you doing?
Good. How are you, Johnny?
Doing good. So what's your name?
My name's Diane, and
Nice
I'm
to
in
meet you, Diane.
Georgia.
Hey, okay. You voted for Kamala in Georgia?
I voted for Kamala, and my youngest daughter voted for the first time this year, and she voted for Kamala.
Oh, thank you both so much for voting, and especially
We're
in
voting
Georgia.
for her because my youngest daughter's gay, and we want to make sure that her rights are preserved.
Right.
And to be perfectly honest, I want my meds back. I'm unable to get my arthritis meds because I have children of childbearing age in my home. So I'm not allowed to have them in Georgia. And I'm old. I need my arthritis meds.
Yeah. Oh, my heart's
But
with
I
you.
just wanted to say thank you. I've been watching you for the last year, and I love to see how you slam down these MAGA idiots.
I appreciate so much you coming up and speaking on this, and that's a really important issue. I want to say, first and foremost, I'm going to look up more. I'm gonna look more into this, and then send what I learned over to the Harris administration because they have contacts, and so I want more information on what they're going to do to solve it. And I'm curious what statewide is taking place, or if it's the federal concern, because that's heartbreaking to hear, and it should be easier to have your access to prescription medications. And so I'm going to get more information on that, so that hopefully I can share that as well.
That would be amazing.
Yeah.
Thank you.
No, 100%. That's heartbreaking to hear. All I'm thinking about is how difficult it would be if I couldn't, didn't have access to my inhaler, you know? So I get it, and my heart's with you. I want to say first off, thank you so much for voting for Kamala and for also taking your child with you to vote. This election is going to be really close, but it's because of folks like those in Georgia, like you, that we're going to win it. So thank you so much for voting, and know that it's going to make a big difference.
Thank you. And she was a great president for the 87 minutes she was last time, so let's see if she continues.
Thanks again. Have a good one, okay?
You too. Bye-bye.
Hearing from folks in Georgia who are voting for Kamala, and do we have any other Georgians in the chat, by the way? Georgia, y'all are really making a difference. Like Georgia and Texas, you folks, it's phenomenal. You folks in Georgia had every analyst in 2020 in a massive tizzy because they didn't know how the state would flip, and then it went blue. This time, same with Texas. They're confused, and that's a good thing. That's a good thing. Rachel, hi, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing good. Are you voting for Kamala?
I absolutely did. I voted for her last week in North Carolina.
Do you know what's the greatest thing ever? First off, North Carolina, y'all are crazy. Y'all, phenomenal voter turnout. Okay, phenomenal. Like, beautifully done. It looks like the Obama coalition era. Like, how was the process of voting? Was it easy?
Yeah, it was easy. There were, of course, tents outside with people. I don't know if you have read up on Mark Robinson and Michelle Morrow.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, absolutely could not wait to vote against them. Terrible, terrible people.
Thankfully, I think you're good with Stein. I think you'll have Stein.
Yes.
But yeah, that was god awful. I didn't even know candidates like that existed.
Yeah.
But I mean,
I'm just so glad to vote against Trump for a second time. I was in middle school during the 2016 election, and since then, obviously left middle school, high school, graduated college. I can't believe he's still on our ballot.
It's been like a decade. I was thinking the same exact thing just about a few days ago, and I was like, I've really been doing this since like middle school.
Exactly.
Like, how are we still dealing with him?
Exactly, and I've been against him since day one. He is a fascist. There's so many things that I cannot stand about him. However, I know you have other guests to get to, so.
Hey, I appreciate you coming up, Rachel. Thank you for taking the time. Much. Massive W's to North Carolina in the chat, please. It is always, always, always awesome to hear from North Carolinians. That's awesome. Hi. How you doing, Danielle?
Good. Very excited to have voted for Kamala Harris just recently.
Tell us more.
Well, number one, I was super excited to vote for the candidate and not just against Trump.
Oh, same. Same.
And just the more I've learned about Harris, like, I don't know, I think she's going to be a phenomenal president. I truly believe her when she speaks, and I can really tell that she genuinely cares about us, and not just on like a level of like, politicians. I do believe that the Democrats do care about us. I know a lot of people say they don't. I believe they do because I listen to them. I watch congressional hearings and all of that. But with Harris, she's like the first president or possible president that we've had that is like us. You know what I mean? She came 100%. From a middle-class family. She knows what it's like to struggle, single mother, all those things. And I just think that's going to play such a huge role because that's what we need. You know what I mean? So I just have hope for the future. And Johnny, I got to say, I absolutely love you. You are freaking phenomenal. Like, the way that when you were reading her border policy and pretending it was Trump's. Like, I was telling my brother about it. I'm like, yo, I found this guy Johnny on TikTok and he freaking slays MAGA big time. I was just bragging. I was like so happy to.
I appreciate the love. Thank you so much. And thank you for tuning in. I will say I'm on the same page with you. In 2020, I was like, there was a really good chance I was not going to vote. I did end up voting because Joe Biden picked Kamala as his VP.
Me too.
And that was that was it. Like, Joe Biden was always supposed to just be a transition president. He was never meant to be a two-term president. He was meant to be like the bridge to get us back into normalcy. And then, of course, Donald Trump said, "Let me run for a third time."
That's the funny
Kamala's
thing
the
too.
candidate.
Yeah, exactly. And the last thing I'll say too, because you just made such a good point. You know how everyone's like, "Oh, she didn't get any votes in 2020," blah blah blah. Listen. We all showed up to vote for Biden because he picked Harris. We would have voted for him, obviously. But, like, we got excited to vote because he picked Harris. Like, I just remember the energy changing and everything. So it's just 100%. So late. And they're like, oh, she didn't get voted for. She absolutely did. You think he would have got 82 million votes on his own? Like, come on.
No, exactly. No, we are on the same page. Same thought, exactly. It's like, race was what it was because of Kamala. Like, again, you and I just agreed here. 2 young voters literally were probably not going to vote in 2020 until Kamala stepped in, are voting this time because Kamala's the candidate. And I think that a lot of folks got to recognize that, you know, because these MAGA Republicans keep coming back and they're like, let me attack Joe Biden instead of Kamala. First off, they can't attack Kamala. There's nothing to attack her on. She's just that good. But 2, like, every time they attack Joe Biden, I'm not like, there's no skin on my back. I don't care. Like, it's redundant. I'm ready for Madam President, you know? But
and honestly, like, there are things we could, you know, say about Biden, but when it comes to our policy, American policy, he has been a really, really great president.
Oh, yeah.
She's really a huge role in that.
Oh, yeah.
So,
The infrastructure package, the Inflation Reduction Act, awesome policies, which is just, it makes me so much more excited to see what Kamala does, because she, for example, right, we know that she was negotiating the Inflation Reduction Act. Like, the fact that she negotiated that bipartisan deal, that's insane. Even the border deal. So I'm excited to see what else she does. But thank you so much again, Danielle, for coming up. I appreciate you taking the time.
Thank you, Johnny, and have a great day.
You too. Yeah, folks, I hope you really know. Like, Kamala is that loved. Like, Kamala Harris is really that loved. She is that good of a candidate. It's not even like a candidate. I don't know. It just feels like you're kind of voting for, like, normally we feel so detached from candidates. Like, Kamala, it doesn't feel like we're detached from, I guess. I don't know. It feels kind of like voting for, like, I don't know, it sounds weird, but I guess voting for a friend, like, it feels like you're voting for, like, somebody you know what I mean? It feels like we're voting for one of us. Hey, Jessica, how you doing?
Hi, Johnny. First of all, big fan of your lives, especially of the past few days. I'm just, like, sitting in my car listening to you just grill these MAGAs. It's hilarious. I, last week, was able to cast my vote for Kamala Harris. Nice. I did it for 2 very big reasons, one in which is to protect my daughter, who is 11 years old, who is autistic. And just for Trump, when he said that he was going to basically get rid of the Department of Education, I felt my heart sink into my stomach because pardon me?
No, I said, yeah, I hear you.
My daughter's been through enough. And I think that kids these days, you know, they're innocent.
Right.
You know, as adults, we're supposed to be there. We're supposed to protect them. And my vote is specifically to protect my daughter and the Department of Education that I'm actually really blessed to be in a school district here in Southern California that I truly love. Their teachers have been awesome, and the department so far has been wonderful. And the other is, of course, to protect my daughter's right to choose. You know, because I, myself, as a victim of sexual assault, I can't imagine what sexual assault victims that are forced to have their abusers' children and how they feel. I'm very lucky that I had parents that believed me when I said I was being assaulted and got me the care and love that I needed. And Kamala Harris, I think for a lot of women, is going to be like a hug from a mom that they desperately need to heal. The past couple of years, it hasn't been easy. And I just think that another Trump presidency, especially for women, would just destroy us, honestly. So I'm so happy that in my 40 years of life, and today I want to say too, my grandma Katie, who is 96 years old, got to cast her vote for a woman today. At the poll, my Nina Ellen sent me a picture of my grandma Katie voting.
Wow, Grandma Katie, that's so exciting.
And
Listen,
she's 96 today.
Look, I want to say first and foremost that you are immensely inspiring. The fact that you have gone through all this, the fact that you are not only fighting for your own freedoms, but the freedoms of your family as well, like, that is inspiring. And it's not easy. I mean, you are receiving attacks from these MAGA Republican, far-right, authoritarian fascists at the same time as them undermining the rights you already have. It's like an attack in every direction, and that's not easy.
No,
and
it's
like, life's already not easy as it is. So,
right.
I want to say first off, thank you for continuing to fight forward. Thank you for inspiring so many folks, and thank you for casting that ballot for Kamala Harris, because it will make a difference, and we got your back, because we're not going back.
No, I told my daughter today that for the first time I felt like I can take a deep breath.
Yeah.
Because I just feel in my heart that Kamala Harris will really do the things that she said she's going to do and to bring us back to our core values, because we are so separated and we are so divided, and it's really tough, especially for those who are of color and gender. I mean, there's so many things that divide us, and I'm just like, it's enough is enough. Enough is enough. So this new candidate, Kamala Harris, I'm so happy that I got to vote for her, and I'm so happy my Katie got to vote for her today too. She was so excited. She really is the person I look up to this most in this world, and I'm so happy that I still have her right now. So go Kamala Harris.
Well, thank you so much for coming up, and thank you, Jessica, for taking the time sharing the story with us. And I really hope that you walk away from this knowing that you just inspired a hell of a lot of people. So thank you so much for casting that
I did,
vote.
and to everybody out there who is still maybe not really sold on Kamala Harris, please, from the bottom of my heart, understand it is a huge moment in time for us. A huge women around the world are coming together and demanding to be heard. And the surge of voting, especially from women voters, man, you guys are really coming out in troves. And I am so excited to see the next couple of days come through. So I'll let the next person go, but thank you so much for letting
Thank you,
me
Jessica. Nice meeting
good
you.
one.
You too.
Nice meeting-
Thank you. Folks, I want to check. Do we have any moderators on in the chat right now by chance? Do we have any mods on? Because I see a few MAGA crazies. Oh, we got King T. Hi, King T. Phenomenal. Hello, guest. Are you voting for Donald Trump or Kamala Harris?
Is that me?
That's you. Hi.
Oh, Marty.
Hi, how you doing?
You.
Oh my god, I love you right back. Hi.
Oh my god, thank you for keeping me company all these afternoons.
I'm glad to.
I love you. Let me tell you something. I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of her. I'm so proud of me. I'm just so proud of all of us.
Yeah.
I want to tell you a little bit about the reasons why I voted for Kamala today.
Mm-hmm.
For starters, I'm Puerto Rican. And secondly, and most important, I am a victim of gang rape. And years later, I found a wonderful husband. And 32 years later, just a few months ago, he passed. But before he passed, he asked me to vote for her. And so I hardly get out of the house because I'm really ill. And I had a panic attack this morning, but I wouldn't have ever forgiven myself if I didn't go out and vote for Kamala today. I would have never forgiven myself. And so I did it. I just did it.
We are so proud of you.
Thank you.
Beyond proud of you. Thank you for casting that ballot. And
Absolutely.
and I'm sure you already do know, but know that he's with you and that he was with you when you cast that vote.
Absolutely. I know.
Well,
And I wish I could do more, you know? But again, I hardly get out of the house. So it was a crazy effort to get out today, but I did it.
yeah. Yes,
And
you did.
I did it. And I'm back home now. I'm safe. I'm okay. And I have my sticker, and I'm so proud.
You have the sticker? That's awesome. I'm jealous. I didn't get a
picture.
sticker.
I took a picture of the ballot where it says Kamala and the little circle. I took a picture for me.
Oh.
You know? And
Keep
I
that
wanna
sticker.
Keep in touch.
Don't lose
I
that
wanna
sticker.
keep
That's a
in
good
touch
sticker to
with
have.
you.
Well,
Is that okay?
Oh yeah. No, here. I just hit you with a follow. If you ever want to
Okay.
chat, my messages are here. We're friends now. We're friends now.
Yes.
Yes.
I love you.
Love you right back. Thank you for coming up.
Absolutely.
I love our community, folks. We have such a fierce community here with phenomenal, inspiring, amazing individuals. And I think we got to recognize here that we have something that MAGA Republicans don't. Well, actually, we have a lot that MAGA Republicans don't. I mean, decency, humanity, morals, values, kindness. We're far better looking. We have all our teeth. We have... Never mind. Now that I realize it, I don't think that they have anything. Hi, how you doing? Jasmine, hi.
I'm here.
Hi, I'm here too. How we doing?
God, I went to go grab my lunch.
Oh, what are you eating?
I made me a chicken sandwich.
Oh, that sounds so good right now.
Oh my God, I've always wanted to join your lives. And yes, I am voting for Kamala. And I've already mailed that ballot in 3 weeks ago, my entire household. I am so overwhelmed with this election. This woman can do so much, yet people on that MAGA side, I do not know what they see.
Right.
He is not a man of the people. And it just drives me nuts when I see women standing behind him saying, we support him. Why? He's taking away your rights. He's taking away your daughter's rights. The rights that your parents fought for, your mom, and you're saying that's okay. It's not.
Right. I think, we got to recognize with Donald Trump that he is a very select group of people he's looking for the votes for. And it's very odd because the group he's selecting really isn't the majority. I mean, he's not looking for women. He's not looking for LGBTQ plus Americans, Black Americans, Puerto Ricans. He's not looking for anybody who fits outside of the brainwashed bubble of the white, male, wealthy, which is an important part to add there, Christian value. And there's just not enough of America to get him across the finish line. I also, I'm also confused as to why some women do support him. And I'm even more confused how a few LGBTQ plus people endorse him. But there's always a couple oddballs. There's always a couple oddballs. We just got to trust that there's not enough to get him across the finish line. And I trust that there aren't. We're just too organized on our side. We're too unified on our side.
Yes. And you know what? And I cannot express how it is important to vote. Like I said, my household voted. My daughter, who is 20, this is her first presidential vote. And she looked into it herself. I wasn't going to tell her this is what you need to do. You need to find a candidate that follows your values, that you feel you would benefit from, and that's how you vote. And I mean, it's obvious, but I was not going to pressure her.
Right.
She's her own person. And that's what people need to understand. Don't feel pressured. Just logically look at both sides. And how everyone's saying, oh, look at how we're in a hole now and inflation and yada, yada. Just because whatever the man signed when he was in office doesn't magically take effect the next day. It takes years. That's what frustrates me. Look at it when it's going to take effect. It's taking effect now. That's why we're getting pooped on and having all these issues, because now all the things he signed are taking effect. That's what it just drives me nuts. It's, this is not an overnight thing. It takes time. Do your work.
Exactly.
Do your
Exactly.
research.
I hear you.
I talk to her blue in the face.
Literally.
But, yeah.
I think what's important to... I'm going to get emotional if we keep talking. I'm going to just say, listen, it's such an emotional day for a lot of us, I think.
It is.
And it's just, I think it's because it feels like 2008, but it's reminding all of us of 2016. And just it feeling like we feel the momentum, we feel the energy, we feel the excitement. We also see it in the stats, like currently looking at vote by mail alone and then knowing what the split ticket voting and what the analysts are expecting. Like the fact that we're like, I don't know, It feels exciting.
It does. It feels exciting. You know, I even told my husband and daughter, I'm like, I'm not cooking tonight. We're ordering out because I want to hurry up and get home and be glued to the TV.
Oh, same. Folks, I will recommend for everybody, listen, for everybody in here right now, heads up. You're going to, it may be tempting to go watch somebody's live stream. I would recommend against that. I would go right to the TV and watch the news on this, whether it be MSNBC or Fox or literally whatever station you use. Keep to a relevant news station for the purpose that there's going to be a red mirage tonight. You are going to see numerous states go red, and streamers are not going to tell you about it. They're not going to catch it. So if you're watching a streamer, for example, and they don't recognize that there's going to be a red mirage, I don't want them freaking out on you and scaring you. Know that, I'm telling you now, like the red mirage is going to happen. It's going to be a red wave. Then vote by mail will be counted, and it's going to be a blue wave that's like cancels out the entire red wave. Okay. Yes. For example, folks, there are well over 400,000 ballots in vote by mail in Pennsylvania leaning blue. That is a firewall that Pennsylvanians have built, and that's not going to be counted until after the in-person vote. So again, you're going to see a red wave, and let's say they're like, Trump's winning Pennsylvania by 200 votes. Just remember, 400,000 Democratic votes are going to be counted and wipe away that lead. So just something to think about. You know, if you're going to watch, if you're going to keep an eye on the election tonight, I would recommend keeping an eye on like the New York Times, on MSNBC, Steve Kornacki, who will break down the red mirage as it happens. Streamers are not going to do that for you tonight. And it's really important you recognize that the red mirage doesn't mean we're losing. It's not a bad thing because it's going to turn into a blue wave. Sorry, Jasmine. I just wanted to explain that.
No, don't be. And I appreciate it. I know you have many others waiting, but, you know, I love what you do. I've been listening to you for the past couple months. And I love how you push people to research and be active. And Johnny, love you. I do. You know, you
love you right back.
You have my heart, honey.
Thank you. I appreciate you coming up. I hope you have a great one, okay? Enjoy the election.
You too. Take care. Thank you.
Folks, this really is our Super Bowl. Do we understand, like, this is really our Super Bowl, you know? This is great. Eagles weren't in the last Super Bowl, so I couldn't enjoy that. But I can enjoy this. I'm excited for this. This is our Super Bowl.
Oh my goodness.
How you doing? Hi.
Hi, Johnny.
I'm Johnny. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. I'm from Texas.
Oh, Texas.
I voted for Colorado. Yes, I'm like, you keep saying that you believe in Texas, that we might go blue, and I just like, that would be so amazing. Like, I'm just hate everything that's happening here with the abortion laws, and I really hope Harris wins, and yeah.
Well, first off, thank you so much for voting, and thank you for voting in Texas. And I stand by that. I'm a numbers guy, okay? I understand that, like, a lot of folks who, like, lean left or are Democrats or analysts in the Democratic wing will be like, oh, yeah, Kamala's going to win all these states, and, oh, gosh, I'm delusional. Kamala's going to, you know, flip Nebraska, bright blue across the board. Like, that's not going to happen. But in Texas, with your split ticket voting, there's a good chance that either more than likely you at least win Colin Allred's Senate seat, or you do flip the state blue, and it's a shock. And that's what the numbers are pointing to, and I think that that's really exciting.
Yeah, that's amazing, and I just love what you do. I watch you all the time. I send you Venmo, and I just think you deserve it. Like, you're
that
doing
is so nice. You
such
have
great
to
work.
do that. Thank you so much for the love. Well,
Of course. No, like, you really are, like, you and, like, you know, the other guys on here, like Dean and Chris and Harry and Parker, like, you guys have no idea what you're doing. Like, it's amazing. Like, you know what you're doing, but, like, it's absolutely incredible. And I really just believe in Gen Z to change the world.
Thank you so much. And thank you for getting in the game. Thank you for voting. And I'm looking forward to seeing you on Inauguration Day, because it's going to be a good one.
It is, for sure. Yeah, I know you have other people waiting. I just wanted to say that you're awesome, and
You're awesome.
voted blue for Texas.
Thank you. I appreciate the love. Thank you so much. Have a good day, okay?
Of course. You too.
Do you folks ever take your inhaler too much and then it actually makes your asthma worse? Where's my asthmaniacs at? Y'all feel me? that it makes the asthma worse. Oh my gosh.
Take a deep breath.
How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing good. Thanks for the deep breath. Sometimes I forget. So, are you voting for Kamala?
Already did this morning at 7 a.m. in Minnesota.
Oh! Hey! Okay, you have a pretty cool governor. I've heard about him before.
I
He's
know, and
pretty
I
cool.
will tell you, when he first was picked, I was not a happy camper. I'm like, don't take my governor. But I truly, truly, truly believe that him and Kamala are going to actually do an amazing job, because I don't care who you are. And yes, there are some Minnesotans who are like, no, he's the worst. I'm like, he has done so much for this state, and then he's going to bring that to the country.
Right.
And it is reflected in everybody's life here, whether they're urban, suburban, or rural, what he has done, from protecting the wildlife and the water, protecting the children, as far as just everything from free school lunches to getting the help and the health care that they need, to enshrining in the state a woman's right to choose. All of that is his values he's bringing to the country, along with future Madam President. And so I'm not old enough to have kids, or I'm too old to have kids anymore, but I have 3 daughters. 2 of them have daughters of their own. We have all voted not just for us and our children and our grandchildren, but for every single other female out there, whether they can have kids, whether they're going to have kids, whether their kids are going to have kids. It is so important. And I absolutely adore watching you, by the way.
Thank you. I appreciate that so much. Thank you so much for fighting for your family, for getting in the game on this. And I really appreciate you having been part of our community, for tuning in as well. And I'm just so excited and so grateful that we all get to cross this finish line together. I'm also so grateful that the candidate's Kamala Harris, because it has renewed so much hope in this election. And we're going to accomplish so much these next 4 years.
I mean, I'll be
8
honest.
years.
I mean, I'll be honest. If we had a qualified candidate who wasn't female, I'd still be voting for that qualified candidate. But it's not about whether she's female or male. It's about what can she bring to the American people. And it turns out she is the better candidate. And it'll be awesome to say Madam President and have a vice president be a guy.
I'm so excited. It's going to be so good. It's going to be so good. And I'll see you on Inauguration Day.
Well, I won't be there. No, I'm here in Minnesota.
We'll figure it out.
I'll be watching, you know, and first time in a while, because I'll say in 2016, it had come up earlier. What were we doing? I was crying in 2016.
I hear that. I hear that.
Tears in 2016. And I can't even express how scared I was. Now, did everything fall bad? No, everything didn't go as bad as I thought it might, but it did not get any better.
Right.
And we have to do this again with him? You've mentioned that. It's like, really? Groundhog Day?
I think a lot of people really forgot what he put the American people through. And I think that a lot of MAGA Republicans think that we're just going to walk it back, and we won't go back. It's just not happening. We won't go back. Like, we have literally adopted that as our slogan to make very clear to these MAGA Republicans we are not doing it, as you said, Groundhog Day.
Well, and they have this weird skewed version of what going back meant. No, you go back and you start rolling back some of these rights that have been hard fought. You're not going back to a better time. You're going back to a repressed time. You're going back to a scary time. I'm old enough to know and have been born before a lot of those rules went into place that allowed women to do things like have a credit card, buy a car, own a house, rent an apartment.
Right.
So it's not this magical time.
Right.
And we should be looking forward.
We are going to. And it's, I hope in part, I hope you recognize too, it's because of folks like you, it's because of folks like those in the community here, to all of y'all tuning in. Like, we really put in a lot of work So I hope that you really do, everybody, treat yourself tonight as, again, you watch the results pour in. And know, again, as I mentioned, it will be a red mirage, but it will turn into a big, bright blue wave as the mail-in ballots are counted. And, I hope that everybody treats themselves tonight because we all deserve it.
And then tomorrow morning, everybody take another deep breath.
Yep.
And smile, knowing that it's going to be okay.
Exactly. Thank you so much, Lynn, for coming up. It was so nice to meet you.
Oh, definitely. You keep doing the good work too, okay?
Thank you.
Bye.
I started crying midway with Lynn, in part because of what she was saying. And then also, I had received... So again, folks, I want to be clear. When you support me, I've been using these dollars as I travel the swing state of Pennsylvania meeting voters. And in that work, we have changed the minds of hundreds of voters, which was a lot of work. And so you folks who chip in, whether it be on Venmo or PayPal, just know that I was immensely grateful for that. And before that, I was using it for my college fund. Still use it for my college fund, or I will be in the future. Because got to get more educated to slap down the uneducated. And God knows, I was not smart enough for a scholarship. Smart enough to get into an Ivy League, not smart enough to get a scholarship. Anyway, I wanted to say massive thank you first off to Lori, and also a massive thank you to Lisa. Lisa's just sent the kindest message, and also Lisa sent $150, and I don't even know where to begin. I don't even know what to say. That kind of blessing is just insane. I'm actually speechless, which for you guys know that I'm not a speechless kind of guy. I'm not a speechless kind of guy. So I'm just kind of actually speechless. So thank you so much, Lisa, for the love. I also want to say a massive thank you to Victoria, to Heather, to Jasmine, Ashley, Lori. I'm just... that is beyond kind. And I'm immensely grateful. And again, I'm not the kind of guy who gets at a loss of words, but I am at a loss of words. And thank you, Penny. That's so kind. That's so kind. I can't even fathom it. I don't know. It just is so nice. Thank you for that blessing. Thank you for being so kind. Thank you for supporting me. Thank you for the love. And just know that I will continue working I went to say that bad word, and I want to put a quarter in the jar because the swear jar is out of service right now as it broke. I put too many quarters in the jar. So thank you for supporting me. Just know I'm going to keep working my butt off to continue fighting forward no matter what the outcome of the election is. I appreciate it. Oh, I don't know if we're going to get this guest up. Can we get some W Kamalas in the chat, by the way? Where's our... I want to see how fierce our community is. Can we get some W Kamalas in the chat? Folks, if you are voting for Kamala, feel free to jump on into the guest request. Let's have a conversation. I want to hear from you. Hi, how you doing?
Hello? Hey!
Hi.
Oh my god, I didn't think I was going to get picked. All right, what's up, y'all? Anyway, I just want to say I did vote for Kamala. My 83-year-old grandma literally woke everybody up and was like, our ballots are here, you need to vote now. I was like, well, okay, girl, I got you, girl. Don't worry about it. So, but anyway, Johnny, this is probably going to make me cry a little bit, but I just want to let you know, you literally get me through my work shifts every day because I'm going through a lot of really bad stuff right now, at work. But just listening to you in the background in my AirPods, I could be in my own little world and just kind of ignore everything that's going on. So I just really want to thank you for just doing what you're doing. It means a lot for people like me who, just need a distraction. And I'm getting educated at the same time because I'm never into politics ever. I play video games. That's what I do. So just hearing all this information from you and all the other people that, but I'm mainly on here, it really it just means a lot, and I really appreciate you like just standing up, having a voice, and telling these people what it is. You know what I mean? And you're not scared for that. And I love your little teacups, and like I have a collection of teacups too, so I think that's really cool.
Oh, do you?
But I do. I love like Halloween teacups from Marshalls, but like I'll go into a whole rant over teacups. But I know
Have you been to
there's like
Spirit Halloween yet? Like Spirit Halloween, like the Halloween
yes,
store?
like oh my god,
So
like
many good
all
teacups.
the Disney mugs, like Halloween mugs. I go
Yep.
like yeah, and they're on clearance now. Oh my god, but yeah. But anyway, like I just really wanted to.
That's where I
tell
got
you
the
that
chicken.
the chicken scared me the first time you did it when I was at work and my volume was all the way up. And
Oh, I'm
we were
so
look-
sorry.
It's okay. All I heard was "Rah!" I was like, oh my god, I'm screaming.
I always think about that, and I'm like, I understand that I might be throwing our own community under the bus by scaring y'all with the chicken, but at the same time, it's kind of funny to scare the MAGA Republican with the chicken because they always get mad when you do the chicken.
I thought that was a MAGA like screaming at you. I was like, he's so heated. But there's one more comment I want to make that is just so funny to me is when you bring them up and you're like, oh, how do you feel about voting for the rapist? This. Like, you're listing all of this crazy stuff out about him, and they're like, yeah, so anyways, Kamala had a
Yep.
boyfriend, and then I'm like, oh my, so we're just going to ignore everything else.
Yeah.
But no, that's it. I just want to tell you that. And thank you so much. And me and my grandma and everyone, we love you so much. Like,
Well, that
keep fighting the power.
that
I'm
fills my
sorry.
heart with so much love. I want to say first and foremost, thank you so much for voting, and thank you to your family for not only tuning into these conversations and being actively involved in our shared future, but for casting their ballots as well. That's deeply inspiring because when you fight together as a family, you make some real progress. And you know, I apologize for the chicken.
No, you're good. You're good. I think that's super cool because we're literally a household of literally all women. Like my grandma had all
Yeah.
daughters, and then my mom had 3 daughters, and my sister just had a daughter, and you know we all kind of cohabit all together. Like it's just
Right.
a house full of women. You know, we're like, oh,
That's
yeah,
amazing.
but
That's
yeah, so
amazing.
I just want to tell you that. So thank you, and all the haters keep hating because y'all breath stink anyway.
Please keep hating. I appreciate you coming up. Thank you so much for taking the
thank
time.
you. Can you drop me? 'Cause I'm
I got you. I got you.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, folks. So my mom taught me real young, because my mom is really fierce. Let me tell you something. To all the mothers out there, y'all are very fierce. Seriously, especially if you're anything like my mom. My mom's crazy. she taught me real young that you shouldn't ever be scared to slap somebody down. Like backhand them if they come at you. And MAGA Republicans, they really think that we're still going high when they go low, but that's not it anymore. When they go low, I'm gonna go lower and drag them down. Like we're gonna do what we need to do to win this election. And kindness doesn't do it for us anymore. Instead, we need to be realistic. We need to be straightforward. We need to match the energy, and we need to fight for America, or else we'll lose it again. And we're not going to lose it again, and we're not going to go back. Mal, hi, how you doing?
Hi. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. I love you.
Oh my god, I love you too. Stop it.
Sorry, I'm really not
Stop
that
it.
annoying, but
No, we're having a great time. So, did you vote?
Oh yes, I voted on Saturday for Kamala. I'm for the girls and the gays always. I have been on a journey getting my boyfriend to get on board. I want to talk about that a little bit because I'm sure that there's people out there struggling with that. But
Please do.
yeah, I guess I knew kind of some main things he stood on when we first started dating, like pro-choice. He was very supportive, and like knowing that's what I'm supportive of. So I never really had a discussion like deeply, I guess, like until it got to the election, and then it was like, whoa, we are not on the same level here. And so I know it's just his background. He's from very, very small town, Iowa, not to mention I'm in Iowa. But yeah, I've just really had to stress like so much and trying to get him to kind of wake up. And I know a lot of it is just what he's been told his whole life. But you have helped me a lot with debating my man, and just wanted to thank you. And I'm sure a lot of people out there have used some of your fun little tricks we've learned. But yeah,
Do what always use the facts. I might not recommend using the chicken.
yeah.
But
Yeah, it's been-
I
It's just been, also I just want to touch on too, for anyone out there who just feels alone. I lost my mom, and this is the first election without her.
Oh.
And like, that's
I'm so sorry.
it's okay. I really don't want like pity or anything. Just like, this is the first one without her, you know, and she's my main person that's always kind of been my support system, wanted to talk to. So like without her too, it's just, I felt really alone, like having to climb my way, like trying to like just say that I matter, you know? So it's just,
Right.
it's something a lot of guys don't see or think of, and they don't have to have those scares that we do some days. And yeah, so very appreciative of the guys out there like you that are fighting for us. So,
Well,
and he did vote for Kamala. Sorry, I should say that.
Yes. Okay. All right. So you successfully debated
Yes.
that.
Oh,
you
sorry.
let that part out.
I should've
You let the
started with
important
that.
part out.
I know. So yes, my household, all votes went to Kamala.
Well, thank you for doing those debates, for casting those ballots, for fighting forward for yourself, but also for our shared community. You know, we really can't say this enough. Like, this election, I know, and we hear it all the time, this election is the most important, this election is the most important. Like, this one actually is. This one really is it. And so, you know, knowing and hearing from so many folks like yourself today, sounds like we have the energy on our side and the momentum on our side. Just got to make sure we have the vote on our side, but we'll find out by probably tomorrow night.
Yeah, it's really interesting too. Like the things I would say like consistently so many times, and like it wouldn't stick, and then one time it would stick, and I'm like, I don't get what it was this time. But yeah, really focusing on like women, and like when I threw it out at him that like, you know, my grandma had more rights to her body than me. Like,
That is just
okay, let's discuss. Let's think a little bit here.
that right there is just god awful.
But
And
no.
I don't know how we even got to here, but
Yeah.
we're not going to go further back. We are going to move forward, and it starts with electing Kamala today. So
Yes, and I am in Iowa. I said so. I really
W
hope
Iowa
things
is-
go well.
W Iowa is, you know, you folks in Iowa, speaking of, y'all are given like I've been reading up in the news. Yeah, y'all in the Obama coalition. I'm not going to say anything. I'm just keeping an eye on Iowa. Y'all are doing very good over there with your voter turnout right now, so keep at it.
Yeah, I'm proud.
Thank you again now for coming
Yes,
up.
Thank you so much. I love you. Keep doing what you're doing.
Have a good one.
You too.
Folks, so I think we're going to take a break here, but I do want to tell you a quick story. So this one, I think MAGA Republicans will really hate, but I'm sure that every other American in here will like it, or at least find comedy in it. I was walking down the street, and I had bumped into a little old woman. And we sat there talking, and she noticed my shirt. I had my other Kamala shirt on. She noticed my shirt, and so she was saying that she was a Trump supporter, and that she was excited to vote for Donald Trump. And so I asked her, and we had a long conversation about what she stood for, and it was very outside of the norm. It was pretty delusional. She was talking about how, you know, I don't believe that women should have the right to choose. I think that we should basically live in the epitome of a 1950s era where women are like effectively the property of men. And I was like, well, that's deeply wrong. And so we continued conversing. And so she says to me, you know, this is what she said to me straight up. She said, you know, there's so many signs out, and I can't wait to vote tomorrow. And I said, to vote tomorrow? And she said, yeah. She said, I noticed that people were doing it today. I'm going to be showing up tomorrow first thing in the morning and cast my ballot. And I said, oh, that's great. Oh, okay. And then I had a thought process, and I was like, Johnny, you could correct her now. And I did not. I did not. I said, you know what, ma'am? You show up. I said, you show up early in the morning. You let me know how it goes. I said, you go cast that ballot tomorrow. You have a good one. And went about my day. It was actually really funny. So I just figured I should share that with you because I thought it was the funniest thing. When I went to pick up my lunch, she goes, I'll be voting tomorrow. I said, tomorrow? She goes, yeah, tomorrow, first thing in the morning. I saw people doing it today. So I'm going to have time tomorrow. I just don't have the time today, so I'll do it tomorrow. And I said, okay, great. Yeah, you do it tomorrow. See, you have a good one. I'm like, what was I supposed to say, chat? So was that wrong or right? when I get to God's gate, do you think he's gonna tell me about this instance? Or I feel like he'll understand, right? I feel like he'll be cool with it. I feel like I'm good. Oh my gosh. He's forgiving. He'll forgive it. That was funny. Alrighty, folks. So that one. That instance today has had me laughing nonstop. Just even in her face, I was trying to hold in the laugh. So that's another vote. That's another vote lost for Donald Trump. Anyway, so folks, we're gonna take a break here. We'll be back on. I hope we'll be back on in a little bit. But again, just a heads up before we go. Okay, so one more time on this. There's going to be a red mirage during the election results as they come through. If you're going to be watching for election results through a streamer, for example, they may not recognize that there's a red mirage, right? Like they'll have reactions and they'll act like we're losing the race and blah blah blah. Like if you're watching a streamer, that's why I would recommend, instead of going on TikTok and watching a streamer during the election results trickling in, check in with the news. Yeah, NPR is a good one, Runner. That's a good one. NPR, check in with the news because they'll give you direct statistics, numbers. They'll also give you the election results and they'll explain. Steve Kornacki, who will explain to you what the red mirage is as you're witnessing it. So again, if you witness the red mirage tonight, and you will, know that it will be followed by a blue wave of vote-by-mail ballots. And in states like Pennsylvania, right, Pennsylvania has well over 400,000 vote-by-mail ballots, leaning Democratic, that are going to help them keep a firewall after the red mirage comes in. So it'll be red. It could be red until late tonight. And then it will go bright blue. And so MAGA Republicans in the chat too, know that that's not election interference. Know that that's normal. There is a red mirage and it turns into a blue wave. And so tonight is gonna suck for the Democrats. It's gonna be great for the Republicans. And then tomorrow morning when we have our next president, it's gonna suck for the Republicans and be great for the Democrats. So again, a heads up, just so you folks know. That's because again, the red wave is it's the vote in person ballots. Vote by mail aren't counted until well late into the night and early morning tomorrow, okay? So don't go to bed thinking there's a red mirage and we just lost the election. It's just not how it's going to work. If you do go to bed and you see the red mirage and you're wondering why everything looks bright red, just know it's going to be blue and it will turn blue when you're asleep because that's when the vote-by-mail ballots start getting counted, okay? Alrighty, folks. I wanted to say that so nobody freaks out tonight and has any fear. I don't want to be getting messages on TikTok saying, oh no, we're losing. We're not going to lose. We are going to win this. Okay? Alrighty, folks. We'll be back on later. I hope you folks have a great election day.
Or he allowed Satan to slaughter all of them to prove a point. Would that be just?
Let's go back, let me answer your question. Let's go back to the point that when this was happening, I'm sure you guys know, Job is the oldest book of the Bible.
It's not.
Yes, it is. Job is
not true.
Which one is it?
I think it's Genesis is the oldest. People say that Job is the oldest, but that's actually not true. The
Why
words that are used in it are more in line with like a later dating for Job.
You think Genesis is older because it talked about the beginning? I'm saying the oldest written book.
Oh, well, it's kind of hard to sort them in order insofar as like each book is compiled based on fragments of multiple different authors who lived at different time periods.
Of course. You know who wrote the book of Job?
Nobody does.
Yeah, Moses wrote the book of Job.
Did he? Who wrote Deuteronomy?
Moses.
How did Moses write about his own death?
He wrote Actually, no. The Deuteronomy actually wasn't Moses, I believe. Thank you for fact checking me on that.
Yeah, who wrote Deuteronomy?
I really don't know. Who was it?
Nobody knows.
It might have been.
So actually, so we know. I think it's like 5 different authors is who it's believed to be.
Yes, that's what I was going to say. I believe that the last couple of books was a different author. Yes. So going back to my point, Job, in terms of written, how God revealed to him, to Moses, what happened to Job. This was in the time, guys, that again, God was the nearest to his people. God was doing, he was talking to them. People could hear God. My point is that back in those days, I come to believe, based off what the Bible tells me, is that I don't believe people very much cared about what happened to them, to a certain extent, of course, because I'm sure Job suffered a lot. But this was the times that people were listening to God speak, quite literally. So I don't believe Job, not that he didn't care, of course he cared, but I also believe that in those times, the people were probably like, God, do what you ought to do. I mean,
wait. Give me just a second. I'll go get a book that'll help us understand who the author actually is.
Okay.
Yay! In the meantime, how's everyone doing on this fine evening/afternoon wherever you are? I hope we're all doing well.
Right.
Oh, also 2 things. 1, did you get a haircut?
No.
Okay. 2, give me mod powers or you hate me.
Oh, drop a comment.
Comment dropped.
I'm not seeing it. Jeez Louise. Let me watch.
I did a bunch of H's.
Yep, got it. Okay. Add moderator. Yep, you're good.
Thank you.
Okay. Let me get this table of contents of my SPL study Bible. Job is Job. 732.
Did you bring the Bible?
Yeah, it's specifically it's the scholarly Bible.
Oh,
732.
Oh, I have one of those too.
732.
It's right after Psalms, I believe, or a little bit before.
732. Okay. Authorship and date. The view that Job is one of the oldest books in the Bible likely goes back to early Jewish tradition. One opinion in the Babylonian Talmud says that Job lived in the same time as Moses and that Moses wrote the book. That view may have also been prominent at Qumran, since one of the manuscripts of Job among the Dead Sea Scrolls is written in the ancient script that is otherwise reserved only for books of the Pentateuch and Joshua. The Greek traditions locate Job with earlier patriarchs by identifying with him with Edomite King Jobab, mentioned in Genesis 36:33. These traditions, taken together with the prologue's portrayal of a time long ago and far away, along with the difficult language of Job in poetry, which often feels foreign both space and time, contribute to the popular view that Job is quite old. Ezekiel's mention of Job in Ezekiel 14 means that the figure of Job was renowned among Ezekiel's audience already in the 6th century BCE. However, this does not tell us much about the composition of the book, as it tells us that the stories and legends about Job were already well known. In fact, the biblical book of Job itself contains indications that the 6th century BCE is probably the very earliest it could have reached its final form, since the settings mentioned therein are most prominent in Near Eastern history during the Neo-Late Babylonian and early Persian periods. Several places names in the narrative introduction suggest a setting somewhere in the vicinity of southern Edom, or northwest Arabia. Job is from Uz, which is set in Lamb 421 to be Edom. Aleph is from Teman, Teman, blah, blah, blah. Syrians and Job are Arabian in origin. Raiders mention blah, blah, blah. This would agree with the traditions of Babylonian king who spent about a decade in Arabia and likely, okay. And other significant datum that fits a 6th century date for the book is the use of the long-term as the use of the term the accuser in the prologue to designate a legal prosecutor who participated in the divine council. The term is used in the same way in Zek? I don't know what the fuck Zek is, but Zek 3.1-2, which likely gives a date to the 6th century BCE. Given the exceeding artfulness and esoteric nature of the book's language, the author's apparent knowledge of plants, animals, and jewels from outside Syria, Palestine, and the philosophical examinations of righteousness, suffering, justice, and reward that the book represents, it seems reasonable to suppose that Job was written in Hebrew by a learned scribe in the mid to late 6th century BCE or thereafter. The book's viewpoint seems to be from the west side of the Jordan River, since it characterized Job as someone from the east. If it does, the author may have been an inhabitant of Judah during the late Neo-Babylonian and Persian period. However, a firm grasp of the book's origins and date is not critical to interpreting it. Okay. So, no, it's not the oldest book.
But it could be. That's what I heard.
No, they're going to date it back to the 6th century, the late 6th century, but they're like books that are older.
Like which ones?
Which Bible books?
Hey, you look it up. You look it up. It says I just looked it up, and it says it's Job.
That's people say that, but oh yeah, because there's ones from the 13th century.
Which one? Genesis?
No, so we got fragments of Deuteronomy, fragments of Psalms, fragments of Exodus.
No, it couldn't be Psalm.
No, just fragments of it. Pieces of it date back quite late. So the oldest part of it seems to be parts of Exodus seem to be the oldest. Dating back to the late 13th century, specifically the Song of the Sea dates back to the late 13th century.
Yeah, possibly, but I mean, my point was still that back in these days, guys, God was so close to these people, like quite literally, again, establishing the conversation in the sense that God exists. These people were so close to God, like they could literally hear God like talk to them. So I don't believe that their biggest worry was losing their family. It was probably, staying faithful to God.
Oh, I mean, that's just right. Like it's horrific that God would do that to someone already knowing the outcome